And we are live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight on ABL Live. My name is Anthony Brian Logan. I appreciate you for being here. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me live on the show. And I really appreciate you for that. We got quite a few things going on right now. You know, the biggest thing is this whole Baltimore situation. It's funny how after the comments are made, which I'll get to in a moment, about Baltimore from Donald Trump, and it was trending all over Twitter, all of a sudden, hashtag We Are Baltimore is #1 trending. I'm sure that Jack over at Twitter had nothing to do with it. I'm sure that the people that work for them had nothing to do with it. I'm sure it was purely organic. But the narrative they're trying to push about him saying that Elijah Cummings' 7th district is run poorly and West Baltimore is rodent and rat infested, being racist, that narrative is being destroyed minute by minute. People that live in Baltimore currently are telling the media, no, Trump is not racist. Yes, Elijah Cummings is the equivalent of a slumlord. You're being voted in year after year. You've been there since the 90s, and you've done nothing to improve the situation. I'm hearing that he's been there for like 30 years. 20 years, 30 years, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's been there far too long for there to be no actual positive results as a result of him being there. How can anybody be considered racist with that type of situation happening? It's not racist to say what he said. There's a lot more topics, of course, but that one's going to be the main one. We got Kamala versus ASAP Rocky, Ilhan Omar, the water attacks on officers. But we get to all of that in just a moment. Thank you for joining. Definitely appreciate you. That's my cue to go ahead and go live. Again, I'm Anthony Brian Logan. Call me ABL, Anthony, whatever you want. You're watching ABL Live. If you're just now coming into the stream, please hit the like button. Right there is free. All you got to do is just push it. Also, if you're not subscribed already, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the bell right beside it. Click on the little bell icon. And whenever I go live or post a new video pre-recorded, you'll get a notification. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but try it out. Roll the dice. It's free, so you can see what happens. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. It's a lot of topics I'm going to get to, but this whole Baltimore thing is really just irritating me because I did not think the press would try to say that it was racist to say a true statement about Baltimore. Okay. It was hilarious to see this dude, Victor Blackwell, talking about, yeah, I'm from Baltimore and his statements hurt me. It's like, look, you this grown man crying. You bought 40 years old. What are you doing, sir? Why are you crying? What is the purpose? What is the reason? Okay, I don't understand. Like, why cry about what he said? What he said was true. If Baltimore, West Baltimore, East Baltimore, all over, but definitely West and East, if they weren't rodent and rat infested, then people wouldn't be coming out and saying that it is. What are these things come? Like, Trump couldn't say that about, like certain parts of nicer cities. He couldn't say that because it wouldn't be true. He couldn't say that a place like, I don't know, what's a good city? Like Miami, Florida, on the beach is just like, is needles and human waste everywhere. He couldn't say that because it wouldn't be true. You got to say things that are true. The truth hurts. That's why that man was up there crying like a little girl. Okay. How you going to be crying on TV? But you know what? I don't think he was really crying. I think that was all dramatic effect. I can't tell the difference between a CNN anchor and a TV actor. At a certain point, I think they're pretty much the same. If you're on television, if you're speaking for effect, there's going to be a little bit of Hollywood in you. Maybe some of these anchors and journalists that are on TV could not make it in Hollywood. So they say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk news for a living and use my acting chops when necessary. That's what's going on with this guy, Victor Blackwell, talking about, how could you say that? People are love are still there. It's like, all right, look. You want to say he's racist for saying no human being would want to live there, but you, Victor Blackwell, left at age 18 for college and you've not been back. You're almost 40 years old. So you've been gone most of your life. Obviously, you didn't want to go back. You're one of the humans he was talking about that does not want to live there. People were, blowing my Twitter up. A lot of liberals that don't live in Baltimore talking about, oh, well, Opportunity wasn't there. His job is like, all right, look, he did not work for CNN for the entirety of his time being in college and out of college and his whole adult life. That's not what happened. He left, went away. You could have stayed in Baltimore. You could have gone to Towson. You could have done a little bit of a commute and gone to Howard University. You could have stayed right there. You could have gone to Maryland. You could have stayed there rather than going, I don't know, to the Midwest or California, wherever you went for school. You left away from home intentionally for the purpose of not returning to that particular place. It's okay to be from a place. Like, I come from some bad neighborhoods. I'm not going to go back. And if somebody says, oh, well, your former neighborhood is bad, it's like, yeah, because that's why I don't live there anymore, because it's bad. I lived in areas where you have some rodents. I seen, when I was a little boy, when I was living in Portsmouth, Virginia, I was in Midtown, right across from Maryview Hospital. If anybody knows about Portsmouth, you know what I'm talking about. I was in these apartments called Waterview. I remember seeing a rat that was like this big. I mean, the tail on the rat looked like, it looked like the size of, if you ever watched Dragon Ball Z, remember when they had their tails, they could transform into the monkeys? It was that long. You understand what I'm saying? Going into the sewer. So do I want to live right there? No, I don't. If somebody were to say that neighborhood was rodent and rat infested, what am I going to do? Cry? I'll be like, are you right about that? I've seen the rats. I know what it is. How can I cry about a thing that's true? Truth hurts. And that's why he was on TV crying like a little girl, or pretending to cry. Crocodile tears is what I like to call it. But I digress. I'm just saying, you can't get mad at facts. You can't get mad at the reality. Elijah Cummings has been there since 1996 at least. What have you done for your constituency, sir? You worried about the border and kids' conditions there. What about kids' conditions in your own backyard? People that voted you in, people that pay you to help them. What about those kids? Your job is not to be worried about the southern border. Let DHS handle that. Let the people that are down there be tasked with that. That's not your job. Your job is to look out for the constituency of which you are the chair of. That's Maryland 7th District, not El Paso, Texas, or San Diego, or no. Maryland, nowhere near the border. So what he said was correct. But like I was saying earlier, I'm surprised a little bit that the media is trying to call it racist. I don't know how they got that. You know, about this whole thing of, what was that? About the squad and to go back to where you came from. You know, that whole thing, that wasn't racist. But I almost see how they could make it be that. Because they're trying to tie it to go back to Africa. Although Trump didn't say that. Although he said, come back and show us how it's done. Although it was not any kind of racist intent there. I could almost see it based on that correlation that they're trying to drag up. But this one here, where is anything that could be connected loosely or just made up? They're just saying the word racist for everything. And at a certain point, racism has no meaning if you keep using it at every single point. It's like a little boy who cried wolf. You keep saying, here come the wolf, here come the wolf, here come the wolf. Or wolf is here, wolf is here, wolf is here. And they keep coming to your aid. There's never a wolf there. And then when the wolf finally is there for real and you're not lying, the people are not going to come because it's like, no, he always cries wolf. This is what he does. And they don't come, and then you get mauled to death. Okay, you're this wolf's midnight snack. You understand what I'm saying? But it's your fault for continuously crying wolf when the wolf was not there. Same thing with racism. There could be a racist attack, but if you keep crying racism when there is none, who's going to believe it? Nobody. Who'll take it seriously? Nobody, except for those that want to always be the victim of racism, and everything is racist. Air conditioning is racist. Heating is racist. Cars are racist. Air is racist. Countries are racist. Race is racist. Hair is racist. Fur on dogs is racist. Everything is racist. It's getting to the point where it's a joke. It's a meme. It's not even a real thing. How long are they going to continue to use it? And at a certain point, people realize what's going on. The regular, everyday folks that are not blinded by the media, they're not blinded by their political ideology. They understand what's going on. They understand that this is bogus and this BS. So I want to see how long this narrative is going to last in the media, because I'm seeing videos come out of people that live in Baltimore telling you what's really going on, saying that they appreciate Trump for putting Elijah Cummings on blast. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find one, and I'll place that in the box, or I'll play it a little bit later, actually, after I get done talking here. But yeah, there's no racism there. Yeah, cauliflower is racist. Yeah, cauliflower is racist. Nuclear family is racist. Lemonade is racist. Lion King. Yeah, everything. Fred Flintstone was racist because he had his dog tied up and the dog was purple, which is close to brown, and that is white supremacy. So then, therefore, he's racist. Clouds in the sky. Hey, the race card, Theogen, the race card has been expired for a long time. If you're trying to cash that in, they're going to be like, look, sir, this has been expired for 37 years. You can't use it anymore. There's no more points on this. You don't even have the machine to scan it anymore. The machine to scan this card is no longer in service. Nobody can use this race card at all. It's done. It's a wrap. You know, Gray and Jewel says Baltimore is proud and grateful for Trump. Hey, there you go. See, my thing is, Trump is highlighting problems with a city in America. Now, last time I checked, and if you guys say I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But last time I checked, President Trump is a president of the USA. So his concern should be what? Y'all say it with me, the USA. So if you have a city that has issues, severe problems, severe challenges, as Victor Blackwell would say, shouldn't his concern be on that? Shouldn't you be highlighting that to try to fix the problem? If there are corrupt leaders in office, if they are inept leaders in office, shouldn't you point a highlight to that so it can be fixed and remedied and we can go forward in a positive direction? I mean, wouldn't that just make logical sense? Some would say, well, you know, it's not about voting because both parties are bad and this, that, and the third. Or they'll also say, well, the South has the most poor states. Okay, even if that's true, let's say it is. Maryland is the richest state in the union, the richest state. Beyond Texas, beyond Colorado, the richest state in the union. Now, I'm not quite sure about how much cash they, versus Texas or California. But as far as debt and GDP, they're the richest. So why is Baltimore looking like that? Baltimore is the richest state in the union. It also has the most dangerous neighborhood in the union in Baltimore City. That's correct. And it's funny how when you get out to the county, like Baltimore County, Howard County, it's totally different, night and day. Go further out, go to Bowie. It's beautiful. But Baltimore City, in the row houses, in the bandos, drugs everywhere. People talk about the opioid crisis hitting white people in Ohio and Kentucky and the South, stuff like that. And it does hit there. West Virginia, it definitely hits whites there. But there's been an opioid crisis in Baltimore for years and years and years, affecting the black community. See, people don't want to talk about that. They want to say, oh, that's their problem. It's their problem. Opioid crisis hits all people all over America, especially in Baltimore. And then you got the crime on top of that. And then you have the corruption on top of that. You've had 3 mayors back to back to back get, resigned from office, if that makes any sense, get caught up in the scandal, and then they got to step down. The most recent mayor, Catherine Pugh, selling books that weren't even made yet, taking money under the table, just stupid little scam stuff that you would do if you on the street selling crack. But you're in the mayorship making plenty of money. So why are you doing this little scam stuff on the side? Selling you a book, $5 book for just stupid stuff, okay? You quid pro quo, underhand deals, okay? Sheila Dixon stealing gift cards from Toys R Us, retarded stuff, okay? And then, of course, the most infamous one, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, we gave them space to destroy. Remember that? Also Baltimore, the Freddie Gray riots, the whole situation. Freddie Gray had been arrested like 25 times before he turned 25. Okay. People say, oh, we keep getting locked up for a lot of different things for a long time. I can't tell. Go to these cities that have a low tolerance policy. You'll get locked up and sent right back out. It's a revolving door that aids in the crime, that aids in these neighborhoods being degenerated, because it's not a real focus on the actual problem. You want to be nice and wear kid gloves. If I were the mayor of Baltimore, if I were in Elijah Cummings' situation, if I had the ability to make laws or to enforce laws in a place, I'll be zero tolerance. If you're getting caught with heroin or something like that, you're getting put into the penitentiary for an extended period of time, because I know where the heroin goes in Baltimore, so there's a crime, so there's a violence, so there's a death, so there's a murder. The drug game and the death game are one and the same. If you've ever seen The Wire, you know what's going on, from the education system, from the drug game, from the politicians. Everything is just so much corruption, it feeds upon itself. That's the problem. The money, there's plenty of money in Maryland, and they get money from the federal government right down the road, you know, an hour away from D.C. at best. You can just drive the money from the Treasury into Baltimore and give it to them right there. The money ain't the problem. It's mismanagement and the inability to function properly in the city. That's it. You can have a city with half of the money and double the performance rate as far as its citizens, as long as you just manage it properly. Rule with an iron fist. That's what I would do. But I digress. I just want to say this whole thing is really wearing me out. Totally racist. How is it racist to say the truth? I mean, and then the thing about it is you're concerned. And here's what I got to say again. This is kind of like, it's on my chest. I'm going to get it off my chest right now. Now, Trump wants to help an American citizen, A$AP Rocky, get out of jail in Sweden, right? He's criticizing the Swedish prime minister. You're talking about an international incident he's creating to help one person who is an American citizen who is unjustly, in my humble opinion, being detained overseas. Okay. He's being called, what are they saying? They're saying he's pandering to the black community. They're saying it's an abuse of power. Kamala Harris said that. She said that at the NAACP convention in Detroit. But then when he says, okay, Baltimore is doing poorly, your leaders aren't really doing well, that's racist. So when you try to help somebody, when you try to bring them home from a foreign country, you're abusing your power and you're pandering, you're not being genuine, you're still racist. When you criticize a place and say what's going on, now you're racist. How can you win? You can't. And I think regular, everyday people are starting to wake up and saying, this doesn't make any sense. He could say anything. He could say potato, tomato. It doesn't matter. Whatever he says is going to be criticized. Whatever anyone on the right says is going to be criticized regardless. So people are starting to understand that, and they're starting to shy away from that side that's going to do all the criticizing of the current president and Republicans in general, anybody on the right. And they're going to join the right because we have a little bit of sense, some common sense, basic stuff. So, yeah, that's on my mind. I wanted to get it off. And before I get to my next topics, check out this video. This video is from a Baltimore resident in Elijah Cummings' district, a black woman who agrees with Trump that Elijah Cummings is not doing his job. The bandos are out of control, abandoned houses, they're out of control. The rodents, the rats, the infestation of all these things is a serious problem, and it's been like that for a long time. Check it out.
So Michelle, thank you so much for your testimony. It went across on Fox News, but I have to ask you, CNN, especially host Victor Blackwell, he's saying that Trump is racist for calling out Representative Elijah Cummings for the way his district looks and just for pointing it out, basically. Do you agree?
Trump is not racist, not to my knowledge. I'm glad that he pointed it out. I'm glad that he put him on blast, because people in West Baltimore have been putting Elijah Cummings on him on blast for years. Ever since he's been in office, he never did anything for us. Like I said, if he's supposed to be from this neighborhood, like I said, supposed to be, the rats just didn't come. These houses just didn't get tore down. They've been like this. If he would take the time out to come over here and see how things are, maybe he'd be better at his job. Thank you.
So Michelle.
All right then. So, I mean, what more? So, is she racist? You're talking about a resident of Baltimore, somebody that's right in front of the row house right now, right in front of the bars on the window right now. You see it right there behind her, right there on her on her right side, but it'll be left hand side on the screen. She's right there, right in it. So, I mean, what do you say? How can you say she's racist? She lives there. She's telling you what's really going on. And this is the same woman that spoke about Elijah Cummings and the whole situation in Baltimore before all this broke with Donald Trump today. Okay, this was recorded today, but she spoke a while back, probably about 3 or 4 days ago, before this whole thing broke with Donald Trump, about the same situation. So it's not like, oh, well, she got paid to say it, and nah, this is just the reality. and they cough and say she's racist. That's hilarious. And you know what? But you know, the funny part is, I know you're joking, but the funny part is people on the left will say that she's racist. Oh, she's a Aunt Thomasina or some retarded stuff like that. That's what's going to go on. So, I mean, what more can you really say to that? It's pretty cut and dry. It's simple. But there's more topics we're going to get to today. And shout out to everybody in the room. We got 906 in the room. Wow. Hey, thank y'all for coming in. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the show, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And also give me a like. Give me a thumbs up on a like. I got like, how many? About 350 likes. Give me like 400 likes, 500 likes. I'd appreciate it, or more. Whatever you want to do. The likes are free. I'd appreciate it. And the Twitter profile is from Ryan Saavedra. But the person who originally interviewed the lady is Kim K. Baltimore. I'm going to say that one more time. Kim K. Baltimore on Twitter. And if I could find, matter of fact, I'm going to drop Kim K. Baltimore's link. I've been following her for a while, just in general, because I was seeing her on Fox News, and I've been seeing her talk about some of these things. So I was already following her. All the videos you're seeing of the bandos, of the row houses, this is her work. So I want to give her some credit and post a link to her. So I'll put this right here in the chat right now. Kim K. Baltimore. There we go. So that's her work right there. And matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can get something else here. So these bandos, I mean, these row houses have been here for a long time, and people have been complaining about it. So Trump is bringing light to it. How can that be racist for bringing light to a thing that has been complained about for a long time? And the way these videos that you're seeing right here, right on the right hand side of the screen came about is because the neighbors in that area were complaining about the city not picking up trash. What's happening is people are dumping just random trash in their neighborhoods. They got a truck full of garbage and they're just offloading it in people's backyards or in the backyards of a bando. So basically, you have abandoned homes right next to homes that are occupied with people that are paying their bills and everything else. It's not like they're squatting. They're actually paying the landlord rent, but they're just living in a bad neighborhood. I mean, everybody's not in a situation where they can leave, and people fall on hard times, whatever the case may be. But people are dumping garbage right next to their houses because, you know, who cares? Nobody cares. The city's not going to do anything. There's no police enforcement. They do whatever they want. That's what's happening. And when they try to get the city to come get it, they refuse. All they're going to do is pick up the trash you have in the green, a trash can and dump it in the truck. They won't come do any large scale hauling of garbage away. So they're pretty much stuck living in a dump. And of course, when you have a lot of trash from who knows where, it could be toxic. You could have asbestos. You could have all kind of stuff. You're going to have rodents, rats, everything, stray dogs, cats, possums, skunks, you name it, all of that. And especially the rats. It said, I saw a study that said that Baltimore was like #1 in the nation for rat infestation in the nation now. Okay. So more than Los Angeles, San Francisco, #1 in the nation for rats, more than New York City, Baltimore.
So you could have people living right next door to empty ones all the time.
Well, it's like that in the city. Just about every other 2 or 3 houses, well, at least one of them are going to be empty.
But you seen that where I live at.
Right.
You see this house right here. Look in that window. You can tell they're clean and perfectly up to par. But look at that.
So here's a good example. You might not be able to see it. It's kind of difficult. I can't really zoom in on it. But right here, if you can see my mouse, well, you see the little telephone pole right here. All right, or the power pole. right next to that on the right, you have a house that appears to be occupied. The windows look nice. The door looks like it's okay. So it appears to be occupied. But right here, this is clearly a bando. You have the plywood slotting off the window. It's clearly an abandoned house. That's how it is. So somebody will see that with a truck full of garbage, and they'll dump their trash right in the backyard of this. Meanwhile, you living right here, and you got to come outside to rats, rodents, everything else. Grass ain't getting cut. It's like nature is reclaiming this land because the city is neglecting it.
The house next to him.
Yep.
Rat infested. There's so many rats and
Garbage everywhere.
in there. It's terrible. And then people just throw their trash right out back. That's crazy.
But the city doesn't come to get it.
But they won't pick it up. They will not pick that up because it's not in a can. If it's not one of them green cans, they're not going to touch it. That's what they told me. They said it's a bag. And
I got music playing, so I don't want to get a copyright strike here. But you can see what's going on. And the funny, and not funny, but the crazy part about this is Coppin State is right next to this. And, of course, the campus is beautiful. Nobody will ever dump anything on Coppin State's campus, okay? But right down the street, and the bandos, they do whatever they want. And the city doesn't care. The city doesn't enforce anything. They pretty much just do whatever they want, okay? There's the college right there, if I'm not mistaken. Beautifully manicured lawns, no trash, no garbage, no nothing. Okay. So what's really going on? Oh yeah, LA is definitely worse on Skid Row. Ain't no question about that. Because people come from all over the country to be homeless in LA. 1,000%. But Baltimore, and the thing about Baltimore is like it's not just relegated to Baltimore. That's like Philadelphia. What else? Trenton, New Jersey. Like that whole little corridor is like that. But it shouldn't be that way in Baltimore where there's so much cash. And so much cash in the state, pardon me, of Maryland. The richest state in the nation, yet the most dangerous neighborhoods in the nation as well. In Baltimore. Okay. It's really simple. So we got 1,000 watching. Hey, shout out to y'all for coming in. I really appreciate it. If you're just now coming in, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and share the video as well. We got super chats to read right quick before we get to the calls. This is a live call-in show. I got a lot of people on the line, pardon me, in the room. So I'm going to try to keep the calls shorter if I get a lot of volume. But thank y'all for being here. Oh, yeah, Newark, of course, St. Louis, East St., especially East St., Detroit, Memphis. Oh, my goodness, Memphis is crazy. You know, Hialeah. Where else? A lot of places. It's really weird how these liberal places are. It's like really segregated. It's a big line of demarcation between the haves and the have-nots. It's looking like India. If you ever seen India, where you got like real slums, we're talking about slum people living in whatever they can build, stuff made out of cardboard, tin, and it'd be right down the hill or right across from this giant skyscraper. It's kind of, I can't even call it a skyscraper. You got these giant houses that are just really tall. That's like an actual residence that staff for like 700 people. And right across from that is a slum with thousands of people in it. You know? Yeah, Philadelphia, absolutely. Oh, New Orleans, yeah. Definitely New Orleans. Ninth Ward, a lot of places. But you know what? The best thing that can happen is gentrification, because without that, how are you really going to press forward without any kind of money coming in, without any kind of jobs coming in? You're going to have the same old thing. You're not going to actually move forward. Yeah, Tijuana, absolutely. Juarez, Mumbai. Oh, Juarez is crazy. And you know what? Here's a prime example of governance. And the El Paso is like connected basically and only separated with the border and the wall. El Paso and Juarez. El Paso, U.S., Juarez, Mexico. Juarez is terrible, one of the most dangerous places on earth, but El Paso is safe. I was walking around El Paso by myself, chilling like it was nothing. I didn't see anybody outside. It was all good. But right across the border, Juarez is terrible. It's not necessarily only the people, it's also the governance. Because the reality if you ever been to El Paso, the same people that are in El Paso are in Juarez too. It's the same people. But one side is very dangerous, the other side is not. Because the U.S. has better policy, Texas has better policy, Mexico has worse policy, worse governance, worse country. It's simple. Yeah. So thank y'all for joining. We're going to get to the calls. There's a lot going on. We could talk about what else? Kamala Harris saying that she would not help ASAP Rocky, leave him over there because she doesn't want to abuse her power. It's funny how Kamala Harris does not want to, quote unquote, abuse her power to help and ASAP Rocky in jail in Sweden, but she has no issue trying to help illegal, unlawful aliens right here at the southern border. I don't understand. So an American is overseas, you'll want to help him get out. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to advocate for his release, which is all that Trump did. Trump can't go over there and forcibly break him out of jail. He's advocating for his release. You can't do that. That's an abuse of power. But you can advocate for the release of illegal, unlawful aliens to come into the country and take jobs from, guess who? Me and you. They're not going to come and just start their own community. They're going to come right to where you live at and try to take over the existing infrastructure. That's why they're coming here. If they wanted to build their own thing, they would stay in their country of origin and build it there. If they want to come here, take what is already existing, take it over, and use it for their own interest and for their own benefit. Send money back to the country of origin. Send money back to Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, or wherever they come from. China, parts of Europe, Russia, Africa, wherever they come from. These African hair braiders here illegally sending their money back to their country. But I digress. Also, Ilhan Omar, what happened with her? Talking about we got to monitor the white man because they're the biggest cause of death in the country. Factually incorrect. It's just not right. Like, if you're going to say a thing, just be right in what you say. The feelings and what you are feeling about a situation are secondary to what the facts are. Get your facts right first, and then we can discuss your feelings. But if your facts ain't right, then you're just not really going to have a sound argument regardless of what, because your facts are incorrect. So whatever you say after that, you just can't take it seriously. Get your facts right first. And also, the officers being attacked with water, that comes straight from Bill de Blasio in New York. Oh, you can't do anything. You can't really, you got to let it go. Listen, somebody going to mess around and get shot behind this. Then there's going to be an outcry. Oh, my baby, he didn't do nothing. Well, hey, you want to assault a police officer because it's fun. You want to get on the gram and get your little 5 seconds of fame. Well, the 5 seconds of fame then cost you a bullet in your hind parts. Was it worth it? I don't think it will be worth it, but we'll get to all that in a moment on the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is in the description box right up underneath me, and it's also going to be in the ticker in the moment once it gets to that particular point of view. So thank y'all for being here. All righty, and let's go ahead and get to it. Again, this is a call-in show. If you're just now joining, I'll try to keep the calls not super long, but it all depends on the volume of people that are coming in. I just had the chat's too fast. Okay, all right. I'm gonna put the chat on slow mode right quick so you guys can see the chat. I want you guys to see the chat, so I'm gonna put it on slow mode right quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see here. If I can see the screen, that'd be great. Okay. Let's go ahead and do slow mode. Perfect. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, caller, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You hear me?
I hear you well. What's happening?
What's going on, man? You know, I had to call in, man, and I wanted to really talk about that Ilhan Omar nonsense. When I heard that really just set me off the other day. I couldn't believe that mess. Talking about white men are the most dangerous people in the country. That's who we need to be worried about. Now, anybody with a brain know who we scared of when we see them, when we walk by them, when they stare at us. And that's black men, let's be honest. Before with Muslim, because we don't see Muslims like that.
Well, hey, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I just think it's ridiculous that we keep allowing her to go out here and spew this rhetoric and nobody has an issue with the blatant racism. And just, I mean, I just think that that was a very ignorant comment because, in my opinion, it's black men and women that are the most dangerous, and then after that you have the Muslims are the scary ones because we all know that they are behind a lot of these terrorist attacks and that their agenda is usually very dark. And like I said before, she is a prime example of why we don't need Muslims in our government or anywhere near this country really until we can figure out what's going on. But also, did you have anything you wanted to say about that before I move on to the last thing?
No, you go ahead, man.
Okay, what else was we talking about tonight? We talking about Ilhan. Oh, the police. Hey, ABL, since I seen this first video, all I could think of when these people bullying these police, just like you just said a couple minutes ago, somebody gonna get shot over this. I know if I was a police officer, regardless of if they telling me to stand down or not, I was taking somebody. I was grabbing the nearest person, splashing me with water, shooting me with a water gun, and I don't care if it was a mob of people. If they start attacking me, I'm gonna do what I have to do. But the police deserve respect. Whether you have, and if they're not willing to give you that respect, you have to take that respect from the people because they are crossing the line at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And if you let it go, if you let it continue, it'll progressively get worse. They're gonna do it all the time because now it's like, okay, I can try you and you won't do anything. It's like a bully. If you don't just go ahead and hit him in the head one time when he starts bullying, he's going to continue. So that's going to be the case, and then it's going to escalate, and then it's going to get to a really bad and dangerous situation, and people are going to lose their life behind it.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that, I'm not somebody who thinks, oh, the police need to just do whatever they want. But I also feel like in places like New York City and in places like Baltimore and Detroit and all that stuff, and California, the only thing the police can do is crack down. And they need to start coming at these people hard because it's getting ridiculous at this point. And you got the people in New York especially got no respect for the police. And then when these cops getting attacked, what do people do? They turn around and defend these people. Oh, it's just water. Oh, at least they not getting shot with guns. I'm worried about blood on the street. Nonsense, rhetoric. They got an excuse for everything that evil does. And I'm really sick and tired of this mess because I really would hate to see a police officer get hurt or better yet, a police officer get in trouble for having to do what he has to do to protect himself and keep his respect as a person that guards the community. These people, the criminals don't want the police in the community, but the law-abiding citizens do. They just too afraid to speak up, black or white, in these communities. They're afraid to say anything.
Hey, man, you said it better than I could, man. Very well put.
Yeah, brother. Hey, man, like I said, I appreciate you letting me call in, but this was some great topics tonight. We need to keep Ilhan Omar out. We need to show respect to the police officers. We love Donald Trump, criminals for Trump, blacks for Trump, biracials for Trump. I'm out of here, ABL.
All right, now, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And I muted myself right before the ringing came in, so you didn't get your ears blown out. So shout out to the headphone users. I got you guys in mind because it rings. I had to turn that off right quick so we can get to some more calls. And I try to turn the ringer off permanently, but it doesn't do it. I have to change it every single time. And I can only do it after the program starts. All right, there we go. Got it. So you guys ain't hear the ringer, so be good. Let's go and get to some more calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number's in the description box, also right here in the ticker. There it is, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. If it hangs up on you, just keep trying to call in. It's like trying to call C-SPAN or something like that. It may take you a minute, but let me get to the next call. All right, calling on the line, 917. Who am I speaking to?
Rob from New York.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, ABL? I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to pick your brain again. So I'm kind of on the fence about the funds for the military, the funds leaving the military for the war. Like, I understand that, the wall going up is important, but I feel kind of weird that we have to take it from the military to the war. What's your take on that?
Well, I mean, it's a defense it's a defense expenditure, really, because if the purpose of the military is to defend the country, the wall will be something that's right there that you can't really move. It won't require any maintenance. It's a low tech but yet highly effective measure to defend the country. So I think it makes sense. It's for defense, and that's what it's going to be used for.
Correct. I agree with you. I'm 100% for the wall. I was just it was just weird that they're going to allocate the the military funds that Trump just put in. Like, he put more into the military now, and then the Dems are saying, like, okay, well, you could take that and now you can put it towards your wall, like, instead of getting the funds from somewhere else. So that's why it put me on the fence for a little bit.
Right.
I wanted to comment on, like, the police, the water incidents going on, and kind of what the last caller was talking about. It's like, I'm from New York, and I see both sides, being pro Second Amendment also, it's like, all right, well, we have the guns because we're afraid of the government and their overreach. So why are we not afraid of police overreaching as well? That they can gain a power trip. So, short story, I was driving down one way, and the police came down from the other way, and they didn't have their lights on or anything, and I'm waving my hands like, where you going? And then he rolls down his window, and I have mine open already, and he's just like, I'll do whatever that I want. And I'm like, whoa, okay, like, there's my take on life is that there's good and bad in everybody. So I can see why people see the police and are like, wow, this guy's not a friendly person. Like, he's power tripping right now. And then I could see the other side. It's like, well, you got to respect the police. And, if you get pulled over, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. It's kind of hard to respect people when they're coming down on you like that. That's what I try to treat everybody like respectfully until there's a time not to be respectful, but it's kind of hard. I don't know what's your take on that as well.
Well, some people are going to act in a way that they shouldn't be acting, but I think it's more of an individual case.
Right. And lastly, how do you get your teeth so white, man? Like, I'm trying so hard. I'm like, got the peroxide and the baking soda, and I'm like, damn, like, maybe I'll keep them that way. Every time I see you on the live streams or your podcast, I'm like, damn, I gotta get my teeth just like that.
Well, you know what? I think to be all the way honest, I think it's a couple of things. Well, it's a few things. Mm-hmm. First of all, I have these lights that are kind of bright and my skin is dark, so it's a contrast between the bright lights and my skin tone on my teeth. And then also, okay. I brush my teeth twice a day, and I got peroxide, I got mouthwash, so I take care of my teeth.
Now I'm with you. I do it 3 times because I'm always eating something I shouldn't be eating, and then like I'm just like sitting here like, why is this teeth so damn white? But all right, man, I'm gonna let you get to the other callers. It was a nice talk.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Anthony, have a good one.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. All righty. And we got quite a few calls on the line. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight. I'll get to you as soon as possible. 304, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's Donald from Huntington, West Virginia.
All right, now, Huntington, what's going on?
Not much. I love what you've been doing, and the show's excellent. Trying to keep track of it. I'm watching it right now, and it's like I love what you've been saying. And have you watched about the victors in Blackwell? Crying on CNN.
Yeah, I saw that. I did my video about the whole situation with Baltimore, and then I saw him crying afterwards. I was like, man, you so weak. You're so
really?
Yeah, I saw that afterwards. I was like, how soft of a man to get on TV and cry about that? Why cry about a thing that you know to be true? He claims to be from that particular. He claims to be from that particular neighborhood. If he's from that neighborhood, then he would know that what he's saying is true. So what's the point in crying about it? It's a fact.
Yeah, but what has he done to help his community? Go back and help, or do anything for that community, or just walk away when you got your celebrity status and don't care about it no more.
Hey, he was gone, like he was gone at college time. He said it on TV. He was like, well, I went away for college, and people I know are still there. So it was like, okay, when you left for college, you didn't look back. You left totally. 18 years old, you out of there. So your whole objective was to leave the ghetto area you claim to be from and not go back, and you haven't done it. So why are you crying about it? You knew that it was a bad neighborhood. You escaped the neighborhood. You should be thankful rather than trying to cry about somebody saying the obvious thing that you tried to escape is what it is.
It's like I see it. I've traveled around the world, United States for 15 years as a contractor, and I've been poor neighborhoods, different things. Seen it all, from L.A. to San Fran, a lot of these cities, and mostly Democratic ran.
Yeah,
and it seems like you see more and more of it. New York, you'll go into all these places, it's the backyard, but they'll be first to point out your backyard.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's a typical Democrat. I'm going to attack you about what you're not doing, but my backyard's really dirty.
Correct. That's Elijah Cummings all day long. And it's been like that in his backyard for years and years and years with no improvement at all. If anything, it's gotten worse.
You're right. And it's like, and instead of these Democratic congressmen that fixing their problems in their own communities, Nancy Pelosi, all of them, there's a bunch of them, It's like you could name all of them on the list. They're all, moved out of their area, even out of their districts probably, like Maxine Mars, lives right on the border in a $6 million house.
That's right, 100%. Right on this big compound. Meanwhile, people that you are the, your constituents live totally different. You're not even really concerned with them. You're concerned about just keeping your power in Congress, and that's it.
It's like, but they don't care. After they get elected, they forget who put them there.
That's right, 100%.
They move on. They got their $174,000 a year. Be like AOC, want more money. Because she's a freshman. She deserves more money now.
Right, exactly.
But I'm also a veteran, and it disturbs me to watch all this. Our United States being, fight for our freedom. It's getting attacked daily. Our freedom of speech, freedom of everything is going, is being under scrutiny.
I mean, I hear you 100%.
And it's like, I feel like, what did I fight for? Just like most veterans.
Yeah.
And I saw some of my comrades die.
Right. It kind of brings.
It's disturbing me, and I want go through the TV almost and choke these dumb Democrats. With their some don't have no economics whatsoever. To help support American to get ahead.
Right.
That's what I love about Trump. I'm I was skeptical at first with Trump. There had to be somebody that's got to change our world the way we was going. And I knew Hillary wasn't going to do it.
Right. So, if
she's corrupt from the core.
Right. If it's not her, then get somebody in there that knows what they're doing and actually can, get some things happen. And I think they made the best decision, because if you would have had Hillary Clinton, man, the Supreme Court justices and the wall and all that stuff would have been
We'd probably be in a war, just like Trump said. We'd probably be in a war. We'd probably be in a deficit. I mean, we'd probably, we'd be like Venezuela almost.
That's right. Exactly.
We're on our way out the door.
100%. Well, I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. And I'll keep watching.
All right, now. Take care.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to the caller. I think he's right on point, 100%. But let me get to my next call here. 828, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, hold on. Let me turn this off. My name's Tori. I'm from Charlotte.
All right, what's going on?
Well, I wanted to talk about Ilhan Omar and just these radical leftists that, I don't know, to me, if you don't love the Constitution, what the hell are you doing in our government,
That's a good point.
Not rocket science, we were founded with values, and basically from what I see is, Democrats have this open border policy. They buy votes basically. They're flooding this country with people that'll vote for them, and it's really getting out of hand now. Like, the hatred and division that they're spreading too. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the reason why they're in government is because they want to change the way the government is. They want to go away from the Constitution. They don't want to have things be the way they're supposed to be. They want to have the country go in a radical direction, and they're already succeeding in changing the Democratic Party from what it is into a more radical party.
And it's gotten to the point now where there is no far right. I mean, they claim there's a far right. There is no far right, but there's definitely a far left. And you can't speak ill about it, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%. The far left is becoming the left. So they're going to put themselves into a corner, really, because the average person is not going to want to go that far to the left. So they're going to have a very niche audience, while the right is going to have the majority of the nation from here on out.
I was a Democrat probably up until about a year and a half ago. And then just clown world got to me. It just hit me in the face. I was like, oh, my God, like, how could I have even thought? You know, it was all brainwashing. I heard a quote. It was like, if you're not a Democrat when you're 20, you have no heart. If you're still a Democrat when you're 40, you're a moron.
That's right, 100%. Yeah, because when you're young and you bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, you want to believe the best in everybody. You want to have things go just the ideal way. But once you really understand what's happening in the world, you can't continue to vote in a liberal way anymore. It doesn't make any sense.
And Trump is completely right about Baltimore. I've been there a couple times, you know, been in the Greyhound bus station there. It is filthy. It's disgusting. You feel like you could be attacked at any moment, man. It's not a good place. And anybody could have said it, and it would have been true, and nobody would have thought twice about it. But once Trump says it, oh, he's a racist, orange man bad, you know.
Right, so, exactly. And no matter of fact, and you're right about that, because Bernie Sanders said the same thing in 2015. Bernie Sanders said that many of the neighborhoods in Baltimore were like a third world country. He said that in Baltimore with the black pastor, Jamal Bryant, other people that were right beside him. He said it right in front of them on camera, on television. There were articles written about it, but nobody said anything about that back then. It was not considered racist to say that back then, but now Trump says that the neighborhoods are run poorly, and it's Elijah Cummings' fault. All of a sudden, he's a racist now.
Elijah Cummings, Mr. Emotional Outburst in Congress, Elijah Cummings. And the last point, too, is we can never forget that, like, there are so many examples. You have to be blind to not realize that Democratic-ran cities go into the ground. It seems like every single time that's what happens. Like, and nobody even talks about it. We talk about Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan was completely ran by Democrats, mostly black Democrats. Those are the people that let that water situation happen. But whenever it did happen, it was racist. White people did it. Like, it's just all a narrative. It's MSM pushing an agenda. It's all agenda. And I try to talk to people on the other side, like my dad, is just hardcore. Yeah,
liberal. It's hard because when they have that kind of mind state already, it's hard to really have them come over to your side and hear your point of view, especially when they get to be adults.
The only thing I can usually get them to agree with is that everybody has an agenda. So of course the news is going to have an agenda, you know?
Right.
And usually they'll come down and they'll agree with that, but then they don't think the agenda is as radical as it is. They won't ever admit that.
Right, exactly.
Because every time a socialist country turns into a socialist country, it loses 10% of its population.
Well, hopefully.
So we're going to sit here and pretend like that's what we want, or if that's what you want. You're a mass murderer. You want people to die. If you're a socialist, you want people to die.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. That's going to be, bad news for your nation. But I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Great talking to you, man. I really appreciate it. Great show you got here, man.
All right, now I appreciate you.
All right, you have a good one.
Same to you. Hey, nothing but facts. All facts. That was right there. Let me get to my next call here. All righty, as Sweet Speaks, what's happening?
Well, we got to talk about A$AP Rocky again.
Oh, of course. Yes, we do.
Yeah, because, he was charged for assault, but the attackers, they're walking free.
Okay, so I was worried about that because I'm thinking, where are the attackers? What happened to them? Why haven't they been charged? So are they going to walk free?
Yeah, well, I think A$AP Rocky, or maybe it was his bodyguard, filed a report against the attackers, but that investigation has been cancelled. They won't get charged.
Wow.
And there are some interesting details, especially about one of the attackers. His name is Mustafa Jafari, and he's originally an Afghan citizen, but he moved to Iran when he was 6 years old. And when he was 14, I mean, according to his official age at least,
right,
he moved to Sweden as an unattended migrant because he said he was threatened in Iran. But right now, he's in Iran on vacation. He won't be participating in the trial.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So he gets to go on vacation back to Iran, where he quote unquote fled to Sweden from, because he feared for his life and all this and that. But ASAP Rocky has got to stay in jail, and he's facing assault charges, right?
Yeah. And this attacker, he's been sentenced in Sweden. He's been in Sweden for 5 years, and he's been sentenced at least 4 times for theft, for physical abuse, and for narcotics crimes. So we're not talking about some innocent. We're not talking about a good kid here, in no way.
Yeah, you know what? And people were saying that it was probably somebody that's on drugs or some drug-related crime, and he probably been in trouble before. So, and they said it was probably an Afghan and drugs were involved, and you're pretty much confirming it.
Yeah, and the police report has sort of leaked out to the internet, and here you have this case where one part is saying one thing and the other part is saying something else. But it looks like the Afghans, when they saw ASAP Rocky and his crew, they assumed they were Africans. I mean, Africans from Africa. And then they asked them if they had any hash, and they said no. And they were like bugging them because they wanted to do some kind of drug deal with them, and they're like, we're not into that. Leave us alone. And that's sort of how the situation started. And then it escalated.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because I'm wondering, okay, why are they following them? Like, what is the actual purpose here? But, the whole drug thing makes a lot of sense, because if you want to do drugs, if you're looking for drugs and you're thinking that they have them, you're going to continue to follow them until you get the drugs, because that's the whole purpose. When people are fiending for drugs, they do things that don't make any sense. So that kind of puts it all together.
Yeah, and actually, when the police interviewed or questioned this Afghan, they had to use an interpreter. He's been in Sweden for 5 years, and he still doesn't speak the language.
That's crazy. I mean, if you've been here for that long and you came as a quote-unquote youth, you would think at a certain point you would understand how to speak the language. I mean, you're immersed in it every single day, but maybe he lives in these areas where it's predominantly Afghan, or people that may speak his particular language, speak Arabic or whatever the language he speaks.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you already know that Afghans are very racist towards black people. So when people talk about racism, I think there could be an element of this when it comes to the Afghans here, that when they see a black person, they immediately assume it's a drug dealer.
Right, of course.
Yeah, and ASAP is in a Swedish detainment center. He's been there for 3 weeks and a few days now, and some people talk about Swedish prisons as being like a resort. That might be true, but that's not true when it comes to the detainment centers. Sweden has been criticized internationally for the poor standard. I was listening to an interview with a woman in Sweden who had been put in a detainment center for 4 days for wrong speech. That's pretty much what it was. She was put there because she had criticized Sweden's immigration policies, and that's not really allowed. So anyway, so she said that what happens is that they wake you up every night, once an hour, and the food they give you is horrible. And ASAP said that his place smells like a toilet. I mean, that's probably true from all I'm hearing. Yeah. So this whole situation is really just insane. But Sweden will not admit that they're doing anything wrong. Swedish politicians have been tweeting at Trump and saying that no, we have an independent judiciary. Politicians can't interfere, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, every regular judge in Sweden is appointed by the government. Members of the jury are appointed by political parties. We are not talking about a system like the American. We're not talking about a jury of your peers. I mean, I'm like, I don't know if I want to visit Sweden. I suppose I have to at some point, but I'm like, I don't really know if I want to.
Right.
Yeah, and the no interference part is not really true, because if you look at the Swedish instrument of government, it clearly states that if there is a specific case or like extraordinary instances, the government can actually decide to stop an investigation of a crime. So they can do it if they want to, but they just don't want to. And I don't know if these politicians, if they know that this is actually in the law, or if they are just ignorant. I mean, it just took me a few minutes of using Google to find these laws.
Yeah, I think they're trying to posture because they don't want to be seen as weak or being controlled by the Americans.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, if you're an American citizen, you can't come over here and do whatever you want to do. And then also they want to protect the so-called migrant that's over there, and they don't want to really reveal what's happening, which is all the crime that the migrants are bringing.
Yeah. The thing is, if the U.S. would really push Sweden would have to bow down and say, okay, we might have to try to fix this situation. And since all the judges are politically appointed anyway, the government could not officially say that we want you to do this or that, but they could send unofficial signals that it's best for you if you get this result. Because, well, since the judges are all political anyway, they would know what would benefit their career or not. I mean, it's really like East Germany.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the thing is, Sweden started this system before it even was in East Germany, so I'm starting to think maybe the East Germans were inspired by Sweden.
Hey, maybe so. You know, it's not very far away. Maybe they had some talks and just, observed them from a short distance and took some of their stuff and integrated it into their system. It makes sense.
Yeah, so there's only one more point I would like to make about this. Is I've been following the debate in America and in Sweden, and I've noticed that if you look at the debate in Sweden, Sweden has like its own collection of the official anti-racists. They're of course the worst racists of all, the people to the left.
Yeah.
I haven't found any one of them wanted to talk about this case. The closest I got was I found a member of parliament who represents the left party. It's pretty much the old communists, and he is, by the way, originally Iranian. He had tweeted a post in defense of one of the attackers because someone had said that they were going to report the Swedish Migration Agency.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because they thought the migration agency didn't do their job, because if they did, this guy would be out of the country. And he tweeted to the support of this guy, and I'm like, okay, so that's where the anti-racists stand. The people in Sweden who are siding with A$AP Rocky are the people to the right of mainstream politics, people like me, the people who get called racists all the time.
Right. Wow,
And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe this is not about, when it comes to people like me,
yeah,
maybe this is not about if A$AP Rocky happens to be black, white, or whatever. Maybe it's we'll look at what actually happened and try to draw the logical conclusion. I mean, who is the guilty part here, and so on.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it should be. If you see the case, if you look at it, it like the result of the case as it stands right now, it's just not right. It should be looked at that way. But the person talking about the immigration and stuff like that, but that's insane. But that's pretty much where we are right now.
Yeah, and the impression I get is that when you leave sort of the political bubble and the bubble in the big cities with the mainstream media people, if you look at what people say out in the country, a lot of people think that these guys actually deserved what they had coming. But of course, these are not the people who sit on the official Twitter accounts and tweet at Donald Trump how wonderful everything is in Sweden.
Right, of course.
So that's pretty much my 5 cents. I really hope that he gets acquitted and he can go back to America. And I hope he makes an album about his experience from Sweden. I mean, that would be a hard blow at Sweden, but I mean, I would buy that album.
Yeah, hopefully he does, because if he does that, that'll really just kind of put them on an international stage so you can see exactly what's happening here, the injustices, and hopefully that might start some kind of change, maybe, because, once you get put on an international stage like that, you got to be able to kind of respond in a certain kind of way.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Swedes care about more than anything else, what people say about Sweden abroad. Not so much what people say in the country, but what people say outside of the country.
There we go, man. So a sweet speech. Thank you for the call as always, man. Tell everybody how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to https://aswedespeaks.com.
All right. Thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for taking my call.
No
Have
problem.
a great evening.
All right. Same to you.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Thank you to A Sweet Speaks for the call. You guys go ahead and follow his website. And he's on YouTube as well. He is a Swedish guy, of course. He understands a lot about politics. Very smart guy. Go ahead and follow him. But I got a lot of super chats I'm going to read right quick before we get to the calls. And if the number is hanging up on you, keep trying. It's like calling C-SPAN or something like that. It may take you a while to get through the system, but we're going to try to get to you as soon as possible. The number to call is 434-658-1220. It's right there in the ticker. As it scrolls by, you'll get to it. And it's also in the description box always. Click on the show more button right beneath me, and it'll just pop right up. Numbers right there. You'll be able to see it. And if you want to do Skype, I'm going to try to get you right here in the bottom left-hand corner, but it may not work. So don't even worry about that. Just call. But you can call in through Skype, and I can hear you. Okay. So thank you to the super chatters. Before we get to the next call, we have thank you to Derwin Aether for your donation. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Dixie George and Triv, Margaret M, and Filthy Phil. You guys are great. I appreciate you for your donations. Thank you to Blow Carts, who says, love me some APL. Sending some love from Long Island, New York. Hey, I appreciate that. Shout out to Strong Island. I appreciate you for your donation. Thank you to Pineapple. I'm gonna tear this to pieces. Pineapple-potamus. I know I tore that to pieces, but I'm sorry. Thank you to that person who says, what do you think of people like Jesse Lee Peterson who speak truth and enjoy all the hate? Did Jesus stay around for the hate, or did he perform miracles and then move on without looking back? Well, I don't know about what Jesus did. I can't get into the Bible study on you, but I like Jesse Lee Peterson. I enjoy the hate to a certain point as well. You know, I don't see some people when they read comments, they kind of get flustered and they're like, oh, well, I can't take that. Nah, I mean, I laugh. I like to smile. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be upset and triggered at comments. So I enjoy what I do in general. So I enjoy everything that comes with it as well. So thank you for the comment and your donation. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to M. Shady, who says West Baltimore is like a jungle. Yeah, it's really a bad situation. Thank you for that. Thank you to Eric Abner, who says LBJ and the Great Society has not worked. Look at all the major cities in America. Keep up the good work, my friend. Hey, I appreciate that. That's a very good comment you made there. It has not worked. It's been a disaster. 1,000% unmitigated disaster. Thank you to Gene Medley, who says, I grew up in Gary, Indiana in the 60s. It was an S-hole and still is today. Turning blind eyes and getting loud is what Democrats do to drown out the cries for help. Very, very well stated. And thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Jonestown Autopsy, who says Ted Lieu got wrote by Bobby Miller. Thank you for that. Shout out to Luke Ekblad and Bad Mo and Caleb Matthew for your donations. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Liquid Out L for W Gaming, who says, love the real news, ABL. Thank you. I appreciate you. G Eek says, check out Crime in Baltimore Wikipedia. Hey, I've seen the Crime in Baltimore. I mean, you're talking about a place that's averaging like 300 murders. In a city that only has like 600,000. When you're talking about New York or Chicago, where the population is very big, it's not that big. So thank you for your donation. Shout out to Derek F, who says from West Side Baltimore and agree with Trump. Hey, there we go. I'm getting more people that are from these particular areas that understand the situation and agree with Trump. So thank you for your donation and your comment. Lee Crow, who says, I thought The Wire was great, but figured it was fiction until I went. It's super accurate. The row houses are as advertised and horrific. Yes, The Wire is pretty much on point. And not only just from, the row houses and the dope boys, but also the education and the city hall and all that. They got it down to a T. So thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Stami, who says, oh, that's pretty much it for now. Let me get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next one. 978 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony. This is Steve Baldessari calling with American Patriots for God and Country. How goes it?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
Everything's good. Good. Happy Saturday to you. And everyone else that's tuning in. Just wanted to talk about your topics here, starting off with ASAP Rocky, if I could, since that's kind of the hot topic, I think. I think this is why people on the left kind of have to be less delusional, right? They always make statements, and then they go to these countries, and bad stuff happens to them from the very people that they say that we have a phobia of, And it's not that we fear them. We're just trying to educate the left and other people so they're actually aware of the threat, that faces them when they go to these countries, or if they allow these kind of people into our country, right?
Yeah, you know what? It should be a thing that people know about, because you have to know what you're getting into. Because I think ASAP Rocky went over there thinking that everything was going to be okay, and it's Sweden, it's a European country.
Yep.
But he went over there and found something different, which is why he's in jail right now, unfortunately. But had he known it was going to be like that, maybe he wouldn't be in jail. And that's the whole point. It's about awareness and letting everybody know what's happening in the world, so they're better able to prepare themselves.
Right, and there's no excuse to be ignorant at this point. I mean, there's so much evidence, there's so much news coverage. I mean, it's all out there on the internet. You know what I mean? You have to be selectively ignorant. You have to choose to be that way, to just not know what's going on and just go over there and be like, oh, I didn't know. And then, I think you said it, that he didn't actually start a problem. There was video footage, right? I just watching one of your live streams the other day, and you were saying that, I think, right?
You said what now?
No, I was watching one of your live streams the other day, and I think you had said that he wasn't starting the trouble, that the Muslim dudes attacked them, right?
Yeah, he wasn't starting the problem. He was trying to avoid the situation. He was like, because they kept following them and harassing them, and they were just trying to walk away, and they kept on pressing and pressing. So it's like, what do you do? And then one of them hit the bodyguard in the head with some headphones. It was just really weird. So it's like, okay, after you do something like that, then I mean, if you do something like that and they're trying to avoid it, even after that, they don't want to fight you. The bodyguard's like, look, I don't want to have to hurt one of y'all. Just go away after, and you keep on pressing. You asking for it at that point.
Oh, exactly. But that's how I'm just saying. That's how Muslims are. They're like rabid animals, and I hate to say it, but that's the truth. And it's not about hating Arab people. I have part of me is Arab, okay, but I'm not stupid, and I don't subscribe to Islam. You know what I mean? And anybody from any background or race or whatever can subscribe and sign up and say, I'm a Muslim, and that's what people have to realize. And they have to study the threat of the ideology and what it teaches. And I actually just made a video on American Patriots for God and Country about this the other day. If you check out my video, and I'm not just promoting myself, I just want people to know, and if you should talk about this too, ABL, about the constitutional provisions that protect us from even allowing Muslims into this country, because oftentimes, and I'm not going to take up too much more of your time because I know you have other calls to get to, but oftentimes people say we're allowed to have Muslims in this country and you can't say anything against it, you can't not allow them in because of freedom of religion, but it doesn't fall into that category. People are very deceived in that regard, because Islam is an ideology that is not loyal to the United States. It's a completely different system of law that is Sharia law. So even taking an oath of office, like Ilhan Omar, etc., Tlaib do, is a joke. It's an absolute joke, because they're not loyal to this country. They're loyal to a totally different system of government and law. And that's kind of what I wanted to say on that. So I'll let you get to other callers, though, because I know you have to.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, ABL. You take it easy, all right?
All right, now. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right. Thank you to my man, Steve, from American Patriots for God and Country. Definitely appreciate the call. And I know the lines are blowing up. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. I call you on the line, 619. Who am I speaking to? 619.
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Tom from San Diego.
All righty, Tom. What's going on?
Well, one of the things I want to emphasize that I don't think has been emphasized enough is the quality of the candidates. I'm 72 years old, and I've been voting since 1968. And this group of Democratic candidates is so mediocre and so unqualified for national leadership, I almost can't believe it. And I look at the Republicans in 2016, you had 9 governors and former governors, 5 senators and former senators. You had one of the top women business executives of the country. You had a brain surgeon at the greatest medical institution in the world. And you had Donald Trump, who's done a pretty good job as president. And you look at the Democrats now, you got the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. You've got a guy who's a big fan of Cuba and the former Soviet Union. And these are some of the leaders. You got a woman who claimed to be Native American when she wasn't, another woman who ran as an Indian American and now has decided she is the Black American candidate. And very few of them are really qualified to be a governor or a senator, much less president. And I find it really depressing. I'm a former Democrat, but I walked away, my wife and I walked away from the party before there was a walkaway movement. And I'm old enough to have heard John Kennedy speak when I was in high school, when he spoke at the 1963 San Diego State graduation. The only better speaker I've ever heard in my life was Dr. King. I think his I Have a Dream speech is right up there with the Gettysburg Address. It's amazing. And I can't believe either one of these people would tolerate or have any compassion or sympathy for these Democratic candidates. And one thing I want to emphasize is we're beyond this silly division of people on race, gender preference, income level, age. Between my wife and I, we have African Americans, Anglo Americans, Filipino Americans, East Asians, Hispanics, all in our family, and mixtures of those. And if we don't do something to stop these people that are dividing us all up, we're going to lose this country. And it's people like you and Tim Pool. There's a woman named Patricia Dixon, a blogger in California who's really good. You're using logic and reason and bringing people together instead of dividing them. And if more people like you spoke out, then I think we can keep this great country, because most of the world doesn't have the freedoms we have. They can't go to the supermarket and get all the things they want. A lot of them are, like in Venezuela, the Democratic Socialists are literally starving to death and fighting for food. So all I can say is keep up the great work. My wife, Sharon, has talked to you several times. And we just both love your work, love what you're doing. And the modern Democratic Party is literally disintegrating. And we just can't turn to them for leadership anymore. They can't even keep their own people from saying things that are racist and disgusting, and Nancy Pelosi can barely get out an articulate speech. So I think Trump's doing a great job. I think you are doing a fantastic job. All I can say is just keep up the great work.
Thank you for the call and your kind words. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. I appreciate you guys for supporting the show, calling on in. We still got over 1,000 watching. If you're just now coming in, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'd appreciate it. But let me get to my next call. All right, Shreves, what's happening?
ABL, what's going on, brother?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, shout out to that last caller. That was hilarious.
No doubt.
Naming everybody. Yeah, Pow Wow Chow. God, I hate Warren. I hate her so much. Pow Wow Chow, bro. Yeah, that whole thing with Kamala, I guess she said basically ASAP Rocky is just getting used, kind of. It's like a misuse of power or something like that.
Yeah, she was like, Donald Trump helping them is a misuse of power. You shouldn't be focused on that. I guess you should be worried about the border and, non-citizens rather than Americans. I guess that's the actual, message there.
Right. Now they want to worry about the border too. And now I guess apparently, remember the whole time, they were not sending money over to the border, and now they want to, the whole party is a mess. They're going down, bro.
Right.
So, yeah, my girl was telling me, because she's out, out there in Europe, and she was saying, she's kind of a leftist. I'm going to get killed for this. But
Careful now.
I know. I'm not going to out her. But she was saying basically, she was kind of like, oh, he should just rot there. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, he said something about black women because she's black. And she's like, oh, he said something about black women or something like that. And I'm like, come on. I was like, he's an American. He didn't do anything. You've seen the whole video. That dude ran up, smashed his head. You've seen it. He smashed the headphone against his bodyguard.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He's an American. I mean, people may not necessarily agree with him as a person and things that he said, but that doesn't mean that he should just be, left in jail. It's an American citizen. Now, he should, if it's going to be any kind of penalty for what he said, that should be more of a social thing. But as far as jail and all of that and international incidents, that needs to be taken very seriously, because if you allow him to stay in jail, it could be you next. If you're an American, you be over there in a situation and you have a perfect track record, never did anything to anybody, Now you over there in that same situation because now the precedent has been set, and you don't want that to be the norm for Americans not being able to be protected by your country while you're abroad.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to Sweden. Sorry, Sweet Speaks. I ain't ever going there, brother. Ever. And then just the whole thing. I guess Sweet Speaks was saying that he fled the country or he left the country. I mean, this whole thing is just like, yo, you guys are being overrun. Like that's just a clear case. You know, the whole place, Europe. I love it. You know, it's good, but that whole place is just overrun in my opinion. It's either SJWs or it's somebody else. It's like immigrants and something crazy going down. So the Baltimore thing too. Just if you follow Kingface _F1 on IG.
Yeah.
Oh man, he just posted up this video. It's hilarious. Everybody should go see it. It's hilarious, man. But yeah, he was CNN, just a bunch of betas, you know, a bunch of beta males.
Yeah,
that whole
dude
crocodiles
crying.
here. Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah, the whole thing. This whole thing. I think they're gonna have. They're basically gonna be jobless once Trump's out. You know.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap city once he's done.
Yeah, they're gonna have nothing to talk about.
Like that, the whole platform has been, you know, hate Trump every single day, and like, what are they gonna do when he's gone? Talk about Trump and how bad he was. I mean, I don't know. They got to move on and stop, you know, going down this rabbit hole of being triggered about everything that the president does.
Oh yeah, no. After Trump, there's no more fame for them. They're done, completely done.
Right.
So. That's it. I just want to say what up to everybody too in the chat and get your thoughts on that. But you know, on the whole Kamala and ASAP thing. But shout out to everybody. Join the Discord. Also, big shout out to I'm gonna do the Antoine Tucker. Antoine Tucker. Go to www.tucker.vote and show some love and support. Because honestly, we got a chance. We got one of ours up there. You know, to get people like AOC out, so we can actually do something. And you know, I've been kind of, you know, supporting him, campaigning, you know, trying to put his name out there because honestly, we do have a chance to actually change some stuff in this country right now. And if we got one of ours out there, you got to go out and show love and support. So, you know.
There it is, man. Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
Absolute. All right, peace, ABL.
All right, peace. All right, thank you to my man Shreeds for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Now, hold on. I want to show you guys that video. In case you've not seen that video of the guy crying on CNN because his fifis got hurt when Donald Trump said that, you know, the place where you live is really bad. Matter of fact, do I have time to play that? Hold on. Okay, I'm going to get to that next. Let me get to this next call. 713 in the line, who am I speaking to? 713, can you hear me?
Here's my man, Shoot.
All right, man, what's going on?
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about maybe there could be like a different story behind the ASAP Rocky and Sweden. Trump might be trying to put the light on Sweden. You know, that's where their accounts are, right?
You said where what is?
I think it's maybe Trump trying to shine the light on the Sweden banking system, right? Because for the longest, everybody knew that they were hiding money in Sweden. Then the government there is worried about there being an invasion on the Sweden land. So most of the people there are required to have guns and a certain amount of ammunition. They just was handed out and ammunition and guns not too long ago because they're worried about being invaded. You remember the Swedish, here in America, all the people was hiding the money from the government in Sweden, in the Swedish bank accounts. You remember that?
I don't remember that, actually.
Oh, yeah. That's something, it might be a little bit, you're a young guy, so it might be a little bit before you, but you can look into the fact that just here recently, the government just handed out ammunition and weapons to the people. It's a requirement for them because they're worried about being invaded. So I think this whole ASAP Rocky thing with Sweden, it could be the fact that, because look how Trump is involved in it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This should be something just handled by maybe diplomatic underlings under Trump. You know, they work behind the scenes or whatever. But no, Trump has interjected himself into this to shine the light on Sweden, because the fact that a lot of the Hollywood people, rich and famous people, wealthy people, they have Swedish bank accounts. That's where a lot of money is being hid at.
Okay,
so,
well, yeah, I'd look into it to see what's going on with it. So, but I thank you for the call, man. I definitely appreciate it.
All right, man. All right, appreciate you taking my call, man. And I really enjoy your show. I really enjoy listening to the other people that come on and make comments. And I also just as a heads up to people, I also kind of listen to the Q posts, but I try to take that with a grain of salt, right? Because of what like the big story. I went to school in Baltimore. You know, I went to school at Morgan State. I seen Baltimore. So I take some information from a guy named George Webb, and George Webb is saying it's bigger than what these guys are saying. So, you know, if you ever can check out George Webb videos, man, his show, and I send you stuff from time to time. So I'm hoping you've maybe seen some of the George Webb videos. But I won't take up more of your time. I want to hear what some of the other callers have got to say. So appreciate you taking my call, man. All right?
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. All right. Keep up the good work, man. We need you. We need you.
I appreciate you, man. Buddy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Now, I'm going to play that video that I was going to play before we get to the next call. And if you calling in and it's hanging up on you, just keep trying. You know, the phone lines are hot tonight, so I apologize if you're on the line for a long time trying to wait and, you know, get in. But, you know, it's just real busy tonight. And if you're just now coming into the stream, please like the video. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. And click the bell right beside the subscribe button. That'd be great if you did that, so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. But here's the video I was talking about with this dude crying. Let's go ahead and let it rock and roll right now.
This morning, the president attacked another member of Congress on Twitter. This time, it's House Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings. He wrote this: Cummings' district is a disgusting, rat and rodent-infested mess.
Is he lying or no? Let's keep going.
If he spent more time in Baltimore, maybe he could help clean up this very dangerous and filthy place. No human being would want to live there. Infested. That's usually reserved for references to rodents and insects, but we've seen the president invoke infestation to criticize lawmakers.
So then they just say, oh, here's all the brown people he insulted. He's racist. So, and right here, they're going to try to say the word infested is racist because of just watch, you'll see.
Before, you see a pattern here? Just 2 weeks ago, President Trump attacked 4 minority congresswomen. Why don't they go back to the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? Reminder, 3 of them were born here. All of them are American. Infested, he says.
Infested.
A week before his inauguration, January 2017. Congressman John Lewis should spend more time on fixing and helping his district, which is in horrible shape and falling apart, not to mention crime-infested.
So they're trying to say that the word infested is just a common thing and is always racist. But what else do you call it? If it's crime-infested, drug-infested, gang-infested, that's a word. That's a normal word you use. So now we're going to say the word infested is racist. So if I call the exterminator and say, yo, I have a property that's rodent infested, can you come take care of it? He's going to call the ACLU on me. Is he going to call the police and say hate speech? Am I going to get locked up for using an improper word that is not offensive at all, but this guy here says it's offensive? Come on.
Donald Trump has tweeted more than 43,000 times. He's insulted thousands of people, many different types of people. But when he tweets about infestation, it's about black and brown people.
Oh, my goodness.
September 2014, at the height of an urgent health emergency. Why are we sending thousands of ill-trained soldiers into Ebola-infested areas of Africa?
Yo, if it's a disease outbreak, it's going to be an infestation.
Bring the plague to the U.S.? Obama is so stupid. Infested, he says. There's a revolution going on in California. So many sanctuary areas want out of this ridiculous crime-infested and breeding concept. Infested, he says. The president says about Congressman Cummings' district,
here come the tears. Fake tears. Come on, man. Tighten up. Get it together.
That no human would want to live there. You know who did, Mr. President? I did. From the day I was brought home from the hospital to the day I left for college. And a lot of people I care about still do. There are challenges, no.
Okay, so you left for college. You ain't been back yet, though. You about 40 years old, so why you ain't went back? I guess you escaped that place, huh? That you want to defend and cry about. You escaped that place. I see what's going on here, but let's continue and see what he says at the end.
No doubt. But people are proud of their community. I don't want to sound self-righteous, but people get up and go to work there. They care for their families there. They love their children who pledge allegiance to the flag, just like people who live in districts of congressmen who support you, sir. They are Americans too. We'll be right back.
Yeah, and people that live there don't like it either. They want to escape just like you escaped. You escaped, you went to college, you went away, and you ain't been back since. So people that live there want to leave just like you left because people don't want to live there. They got to live there because they're in bad situations, but they want to leave too. So all this stuff you're talking about is just ridiculous. These fake tears. You know what? I didn't see no Indian tear. I didn't see no condensation in his eye. I saw nothing. He is, in my opinion, an actor in this particular sense. In this moment, he's an actor trying to make you feel a certain way to attack your fifis. But what Trump said was all facts. Explain to me what Trump said that was wrong. Gang infested, drug infested, Ebola infested. Where's the lie? Where's the improper thing that he said? You can't get mad at the facts. You can't get your little heart broke over the facts. But let's get back to the calls. 210, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Brandon from San Antonio.
All righty, what's happening?
Chilling, man. How you doing tonight?
Oh, everything's great, man. Can't complain.
All right, so, I kind of wanted to touch on the subject of Trump with the border wall. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, Trump increased the spending for the military, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, and so the left was like, oh, no, why would you do that? Don't do that. But yet, when he decides to, take some of that money from the military spending, the left goes, why are you taking from the military?
Right, exactly. So first it was you're giving them too much. Now it's you're not giving them enough. So which one is it? I think we should just pick a particular stance and stick to it rather than just, floating with the wind whenever it's politically expedient.
Yeah, and I know it's just beating a dead horse, but I mean, it doesn't matter what Trump does. They're always just going to be hypocritical, whether they wanted it before or after, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, and also, just to be kind of funny, I'm not one to, judge people on looks or anything like that. But am I the only one that thinks that Elijah Cummings looks like a living and breathing, walking and talking, crying baby mask?
Yeah, he does kind of look like that. Yeah, kind of like a sheepdog, a little bit in the face.
Yeah, maybe like a Shar-Pei or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's all I had, and like I always do, I try to keep it short and sweet.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, you have a good one.
All right, now same to you. Hey, shout out to the caller. When I said sheepdog, I meant Shar-Pei. He got it right. He looks just like the Shar-Pei in the face. I mean, it is what it is. You know what? What I found out a lot is that people that are generally more conservative have a better look to them. Male, female, whatever, they just look better. It doesn't matter their age or nothing. They just look better generally. That's what I see. And they're more energetic. Just like here's an example. You have people like Nancy Pelosi. She's right around Donald Trump's age, maybe about a few years older. I mean, or here's a great example: Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton could barely make it. She's weekend at Bernie's, being drugged through the campaign. Looks like she got one foot in the proverbial grave, right? Donald Trump is more spry, more energetic. He's older than her by a year. So, I mean, there's something about having the right spirit that emanates outwards. I'm not even a religious guy. I'm just saying maybe the thing that is happening inside will show outwardly, and people can see that as far as how you look on your face, your skin, how you walk and talking, etc. But let me get to my next call. 408, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Alex.
All righty, what's happening?
Hello? Oh, wow. All right. Hey, so I wanted to come on and talk about this ASAP Rocky thing. All right. So from what I've seen from the video is before he got in a fight with the bodyguard, this skinny, preppy Muslim kid runs up on the ASAP crew and is talking about his headphones before the fight. And then he gets in the fight with the bodyguard and looks like he gets his glasses broken. But I don't hear anything about drugs or anything else. I just hear this kid following after the ASAP crew, something about his headphones. And then sometime during the ASAP video, ASAP Rocky says, look, I'm taking this video because we don't want any trouble. But to me, that says that something, they did do something. So, and what happened before the video started? Obviously, they got in a fight with this kid. The kid wants his headphones fixed or something like that, and that's what happened. And we don't know what video Sweden has, that maybe they have some video evidence of what did happen before that. So everybody piling on this kid and talking about he's after drugs and he's got a record. I don't know if any of that's true, but
well, I gotta correct you. I gotta step in right here because the whole thing about the headphones was caught on camera. The kid hit the security guard in the head with the headphones and broke him.
So so all the video that I've seen was I saw one fight with the bodyguard. Is there two fights on video with the bodyguard or just the one?
Well, I'm not really sure what you saw, but there's a video.
Well, in the ASAP video, the two kids roll up on the ASAP crew and they're like, hey, you fought with us. We want something about the headphones. And then the bodyguard's saying, hey, man, go that way. I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
Oh, hold on. You can't cuss. You can't cuss.
Oh, sorry. But then you see the bodyguard fight with the kid. And he slaps, it looks like some black sunglasses onto the ground or something like that.
No. What happened right there was the kid had some headphones in his hand. He swung on a security guard and the headphones broke. But the security guard was trying to block the headphones from hitting him. That's what happened. That's why the whole thing with the headphones was happening.
Okay, but what I'm saying is all the video that I've seen only shows one fight with the bodyguard. The kid swinging on the bodyguard. Is there two fights with the bodyguard?
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is the whole thing with the sunglasses is not what happened. In that video, what actually happened was the kid, the Arab kid, the Afghan, he hits the security guard with headphones. There's no sunglasses. It's the headphones that break like that. And that's why they keep coming to talking about headphones.
Black, you see something black get hit, go on the ground.
So whatever went on the ground, whatever went on the ground is not really important. The point is that the security guard was not the one that struck. The kid hit the security guard with the headphones.
Okay, but so all I'm saying is the video that I've seen of ASAP Rocky's cell phone video shows one fight with the bodyguard, with the kid swinging at him. And maybe there's another video I didn't see, but I'm saying in that video where it shows the kid swinging on the bodyguard, before that fight happened, in that same video, the kid's talking about his headphones already. That's what I'm saying. Look, and I'm just I'm upset about this because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm out here on the front lines. Out here we call him General Trump, okay? And I don't like seeing him drug into this thing, and then in the end he might wind up looking like a fool just for supporting what happened before the video. And
no, I think he might be. I think he might be wrong about this one because people that are in Sweden, people that are experts in law in Sweden have spoken about this in Swedish, and they're saying that the video, they examined the video and they're saying that ASAP, he was in the right. He was trying to avoid the whole situation. They kept trying to back away. They kept telling him to leave, and they got hit first. That's what they're saying.
I didn't see any of that. He's still in jail, and I haven't seen any other evidence than what we've seen on YouTube, which is the full video that I've seen shows the fight with the bodyguard. But before
okay,
that,
so I mean, I got
came-
where you're coming from. So like, what do you want to like? What's your actual ultimate point here?
My ultimate point here is that I don't want to see I want to see all the evidence. I want to see what happened before the video. I want to see why the kid has a grievance. Why would it doesn't make sense that the kid's going to be chasing these people all around.
But look,
he wasn't talking about hash or anything.
Okay, here's the thing about that.
What I see, I don't
here's the thing
I don't
about
want to
that.
see Trump get drug into this.
Here's the thing. You don't know what he was saying because he wasn't speaking no English. So you don't know
Yeah,
what he was saying.
Headphones. He said headphones.
I mean,
He
come
said
on.
headphones.
Like he might
What?
know a couple.
What do you mean,
he might
man?
know a few words in English, but he's not going to be having the whole conversation. Here's the thing about it.
ABL, you're a smart dude. I would expect you to look at this critically.
No. Listen. You got to, sir. You got to listen to what I'm saying. You can't cut me off because if you're not listening, then you're not going to be able to hear me.
All
so,
right.
you're not going to be able to even understand what's going on. But look, if a person is on drugs, they're not in their right mind. They're doing things that don't make any sense.
What drugs, man?
Can I finish the thought? Can I finish something before you interrupt me?
Sure.
Now, if keyword if the person is on drugs, they're going to do things that don't make any sense. That's what people that are on drugs do. Drug addicts is what they do. Okay, and the person has had prior convictions for drugs, for assault.
That's hearsay, man. That's rumor. That's rumor.
I mean,
you don't know that.
I'm talking. I know people in Sweden that have told me this. Do you know anybody in Sweden? Okay.
I don't know.
I didn't think
no.
so. So I'm talking about people. I know people that are on the ground, sir.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
People that are on the ground in the area in Sweden have said this. So
What, friends of his? Friends of the kids?
The people that are on the ground in Sweden, just people, not friends of anybody, just people that are there that know what's going on.
All right. Well, I've heard the information too. I mean, I've scoured the internet, so maybe you know stuff I don't know. I've heard rumors
All right.
and innuendo and
Well,
stuff
hey,
like that. But
at the end of the day, I think Trump is correct here because regardless of the situation, you're talking about American citizens.
I hope so.
You're talking about American citizens, and you got to advocate for your people when they're overseas and things don't look right. Let's get some. I got to talk. Let's get some, full transparency into what's happening. Let's not let them just take our people and the situation looks fishy. Let's figure out what's really going on. Then we can press forward. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
All righty. So, yeah, shout out to the caller. Yeah, people, look, free ASAP Rocky. The video is pretty clear. And it was obvious that the kid wasn't in his right mind. Why are you going to keep following this person? They're saying, hey, leave us alone. Don't follow us. And you keep trying to follow him. Come on. All right, let's get to the next call. All righty, let's go. Excuse me. Hold on, I have somebody here I wanted to get. All right. 912, you're on the line.
Hey, Anthony, it's Matt in Washington State. How you doing?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
Oh, fantastic, man. I don't know what that last guy was going on about. The guy looked pretty innocent to me.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, it seemed, I mean, even if there were more evidence, no one has that evidence. So we got to go on what we see, right?
Yeah, you got to go on what you see. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Like, they were trying to avoid it. They got on camera and saying we're trying to avoid it. We don't want any problems. So, I mean, I don't know what else can actually be said.
Yeah, I think it's important to go on your what you see, and unless there's more evidence, but it doesn't seem it's brought forward.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Kanye's got to make some Betsy Ross Yeezys. I've been looking for them, and I haven't been able to find them.
Hey, that'd be a great idea. If he gets some of those, I'm about to just break out the bank and get them. I know they're an arm and a leg to get, but some Betsy Ross Yeezys, I'm all over them, 100%.
I'd buy them, and I'm a white dad. And then I had a thought about the border in terms of what people think about immigration and ICE and Border Patrol and all those guys. And it sort of reminds me of the way people go on about abortion sometimes. I see it's a weird thing that we have where if a Mexican or a Honduran or somebody from Venezuela can get here, if they can just land inside our border, then they're bestowed all the rights of a U.S. citizen. It's sort of like if a baby can be born. The CBP is kind of like the abortionist. I mean, I don't understand why we don't give them rights if they're humans. You know, it just seems you got rights no matter where you are.
Hold on, I kind of didn't really catch that. Say that. Can you just summarize that right quick?
Well, I mean, the left is pro-abortion, and they don't think that a baby's got rights until it's born and makes it out of the womb. I mean, the womb is sort of like the border wall in a way. I mean, all we got to do is just end birthright citizenship, and get rid of some of these incentives that make people want to sort of game the system. But I don't understand the whole idea of, which it seems universally agreed, and they're sending lawyers down there to go and join these caravans to come up with them. They're all coaching them. All you got to do is just get your foot inside the border, and then you get all the rights. I don't understand how that game even got set up.
It's a lot of loopholes, and because the whole thing about birthright citizenship was not supposed to be for people coming across the border illegally and then having an anchor baby. That wasn't what it was for. It was after the war when former CSA citizens and former slaves were able to get full rights as American citizens. That's what it was for. It was not for people coming over here dropping babies in hospitals and then going back to China or Russia or whatever the case may be. So we have to update these laws that have not been updated for current times, because it at a certain point, it wasn't possible to come over here from China on a plane and drop a baby in a hospital in San Francisco and go back to China. That wasn't possible, but now it is. So you got to update the law.
We're the only people that do that. I mean, it's not like you can go to Norway or Sweden, and I mean, you got to learn Norse in Norway. I mean, you can't go to Japan. I mean, you have to actually be a bloodline Japanese to own land there and then become a citizen and that kind of stuff.
Same thing with China. Like China is really strict. You can't even Hong Kong's trying to fight China from being China again. So it's pretty strict over there. You can't do whatever you want. America has a lot of freedom. Too many freedoms for people that aren't here legally or people that want to game the system and take advantage of what we have in the country.
Yeah. I also had a thought too on like they want to give them Medicare and the right to vote and all that stuff. And I think it's universally recognized that the journey here is inhumane. So my whole point is, why force them to come here? Why not just give them Medicare down there? And that way, in theory, they should agree with that. Stay. We don't want to force. Matter of fact, we'll send airplanes down there to pick you up and just come here. I mean, that's basically the next logical step to where they're going.
Well, yeah, I mean, that might be what they do. I say no benefits at all. I don't care where you at, here or there or anywhere. No benefits at all. Yeah. Let them just handle their own. Let them handle their own affairs and do what they're gonna do, rather than trying to just let us have our own thing. You do your own thing. Have that be that. If you're here illegally, you're gonna get sent back ASAP.
Here's a question for you: would you need a border wall if it weren't for the benefits? If you got rid of the benefits, who would do it? Come.
It wouldn't be no need for no wall. If the been I've heard people, illegal say that. I've seen interviews and they said, take away the benefits, we're going to leave. Because that's what's attracting them to come. A lot of them already have money. People that come from other countries that you can't just walk across to the border from, they have money where they came from, or at least enough to not have to sneak into the country and go through a bunch of trouble. They're coming here to get more money, and a lot of that is through the welfare system and the NGOs and other places and people that are able to supply them with the cash they need to keep going.
Yeah, and maybe one last point. Thank you for doing this too. There's a little bit of anti-Muslim stuff going on. I get it. Some cultures are better than others. I mean, they're having a problem with female circumcision and stuff like that. Up in by the Twin Cities and Michigan, and Dearborn and places where they're having a lot of settling. I mean, our culture is objectively better than their culture, but what they can do theirs over there. I wish people on the right would sort of tamp it down with some of that, but I'm going to go get a Swedish bank account.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You be good.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for calling. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And we got 960 in the building. Please give the video a thumbs up if you've not done so already. I'd appreciate it. But let me get to the next one here. 216, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. This is Paul Bunyan.
Hey, Paul Bunyan, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just want to say a quick thanks for all that you're doing, just spreading the truth. Because especially in these trying times where you have certain people spreading misinformation, lies, and just total nonsense, we need people to fight back with the truth.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's going to be the biggest weapon right there, the truth.
Exactly. And what really set me off was when I heard not Elijah Cummings, the guy from CNN crying about Trump's statement about Baltimore. Well, we all know that it's true. When the citizens of Baltimore know it's true, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I mean, people in Baltimore that live there are saying it's true. Everyone on the outside that is using their brain properly knows it's true. It can't be seen as anything else other than true. People can get upset about the truth, and that's okay. They can get upset about the conditions of a place where they lived or they have lived before, but you can't shoot the messenger. He's just telling the truth. It's not anything else other than that.
Exactly. It's like, oh man, Trump derangement syndrome really is real. It's like Trump can say 2 + 2 = 4, and then these people will try and argue about how, oh no, it equals 5. It's pathetic.
Right.
I think more people are waking up to that.
Absolutely, 100% they are.
Oh yeah. So I'm just saying, it's like, oof. Also, I just got one more thing that I got to get off my mind. It's like anybody that cares more about illegal immigrants coming over here than actual citizens that are either homeless or going through tough times, I'm sorry, but I think that they're un-American. I'm just going to call that out right now.
I agree with you 100% because, look, we're all American citizens. We got to look out for one another first. As Americans, if you see somebody on the street or people on the street or people in neighborhoods that are, not really doing well, people struggling or hard times that are American citizens, and you want to ignore them and pay more attention to those that are on the border, illegal aliens, people that are here criminally, that's not the American way. So I agree with you 100%.
Oh, yeah. Also, I'm loving some of these comments that I'm seeing about how 2 + 2 = 4 is a white. It's like, yeah, these people want to cry racist for everything, but it's like, at this point, you're just making it an empty word,
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty much all I had to say about that. I just needed the vent because as soon as I saw that, I'm just like, really, you guys. One more thing before I go. I'm sorry. The people over at CNN, the people that are calling racist, let's be honest. These are the true racists. If you can associate that word with black, with negativity about blacks, you're the racist. Let's be real.
That's right. That's right. Because how can you even how can you even connect that? I didn't even think that somebody would say, "Oh, that's racist." It doesn't make any sense because you're talking about the conditions of the neighborhood, rats and rodents. How do you say it's infested with rats and rodents when you can clearly look at images and see that it's pretty dirty and there's stuff everywhere, and then say, "Oh, you're racist"? So I'm automatically linked to rats and rodents because I'm black. That's racist in itself. So I agree with you.
Yep. Oh, man. I'm telling you, man. We need more education. We need more people spreading the truth. And most importantly, we need more prayer.
There it is, man.
Because at this point, it's not just a battle about facts versus feelings. I'm telling you, there's some real evil in the works. And it's only going to get worse.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
No problem, man. Take it easy.
All right, same to you. All right, shout out to the caller. And thank y'all for calling in. The phone lines are jumping, so I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. But let me get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, call you on the line, 469. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, how's it going?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
Okay, I gotta say something crazy, but we gotta stop the Islamophobia and the Republican Party. I know it sounds crazy, but we have to make the Muslims
you said what
our
now?
friends. The Islamophobia, it has to be like, toned down. We have to make the Muslims our friends. Like,
Oh,
you have to find the good Muslims, like, Imam of Peace, if you heard him on Twitter.
okay.
We gotta find the conservative Muslims, go to mosque, befriend the Muslims, make them go to the conservative cause. Imagine if Trump compared to Islam tomorrow, the Democrats would hate Islam, they'll be like, Islam is evil, Islam oppresses women. The Democrats hate everything about Trump.
Hey, that's a great strategy. I was kind of concerned. I was like, okay, where are you going with this? But now, okay, I see it. Hey, let's all of us become Muslim tomorrow. Let's put all the women in the big trash bag with the mailbox slot right there. Let everybody wear that in all black, no colors or nothing like that. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're in Atlanta, Georgia. It could be 100 degrees in the shade. You're sweating cannonballs all over your body. That's okay. Put them in that, and then have the big loudspeakers outside everybody's house. But we're still conservative. Have that be the case, and then all of a sudden everybody will be against Islam. That was a great point you made there.
Yes, I mean, because if imagine if all the Muslims voted for Trump, like the Islamization of Europe would stop in 2 seconds. It would just be gone.
That's
yes,
right.
I mean, yes, because the problem is the left. The Muslims vote so much for the left that the left wants them to import them in because reliable voters. We have to make the Muslims come to the right because they have conservative values. Islam is a very conservative religion. So we have to make them come to our side so we stop the Islamization, we stop the destruction of Western civilization. I mean, the Romans crucified Jesus on the cross, and then the Romans became the biggest promoters of Christianity. I mean, after Constantine compared to Christianity.
Well, hey, there it is. Makes sense.
Yes. We got to make the Muslims the new evangelicals, especially in England. They could be the next evangelicals.
I mean, that'd be wild, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, I was wondering where he was going. If I'm like, hey, Islamophobia, what are you talking about? I was just trying to, just ride along with him, and then he took me to a nice place. I'm like, okay, I can rock with that. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah. Hey, SOBC, the giant trash bags, full body, all black with the little mailbox slot right there for the eyes. You understand? And I want to have the convertible one so you can just go like Dwayne Wade on a different world. But anyway, let me get back to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I'm going to try to get to all the calls as soon as I can. Let's go to 619 your line. I'm speaking to.
Hi, Anthony. This is Sharon in San Diego. How are you today?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm fine. I'm basically responding to this thing about Baltimore and the rat infestation and the guy that was crying on CNN and all of that, whatever. It's kind of hard to fathom when you're looking at these men that are supposed to be so strong and they're portraying the message, you're trying to get the message out, and then he breaks down and he starts crying. Now, my next question is, when are we going to see Maxine Waters, whose district is in Los Angeles? When are we going to see her on television crying with her clinics? She has to be coming next because it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And these people are bad actors, very poor actors. They're not convincing at all. But to be on the serious side, I think for Elijah Cummings, he has to be embarrassed by all of this that's going on. He has to be. But we've known it for a long time, but it's different to know it and not have it all over the world for people to see. You can blog on Google and go in and see all these neighborhoods in Baltimore and just how bad they look. And you're thinking, this guy is telling us he wants to impeach Donald Trump. Why isn't he taking his behind back to Baltimore and reassuring the people that live there that he truly represents them? So now the onus is back on the people in Baltimore to rev him up jack him up and tell him to start doing his job. I mean, seriously. He looks so serious when he says, oh, we're going to go after Donald Trump and we want the subpoenas. Who cares at this point? Because now people are looking at your nasty, funky backyard. What are you doing? What are you doing? And for us as African Americans, it's very humiliating. It is. You almost can't put it into words because it's like, what the is going on here? But like I said, is Maxine going to be next? Is she on next week with her clinics? And she's crying. And the gentleman on CNN, he was very smart. He used a technique of repeating 3 times, infestation, 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 so you won't forget it. But that's how they work it. But as I said before, this is probably more of an embarrassment to a lot of people in Baltimore. So maybe they're going to get up and demand that this guy get his behind back to Baltimore and get busy, or else you're out of here. Okay, Anthony, have a nice evening, and thanks so much, and everybody else out there, thanks so much for calling in. We got a lot of good callers tonight, got a lot of support, but like I said, just keep doing what you're doing and just keep hammering and beating and hammering, because once you do that, you have to, and you will start to get people's attention, even if they don't want you to. They have to start listening because the ear starts hearing. You know, they start hearing and people start paying attention. But like I said before, thanks so much. Have a nice evening and peace.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
Great call. Oh, very great call. Yeah, super high energy. A lot of fact bombs just being dropped straight from the sky. So shout out to her for the call. Most certainly appreciate it. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. You guys have been great tonight with the calls. But let me get to the next one. All right, Jordan, what's happening?
Oh, nothing much. ABL, yourself?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, I know I've been harassing you about this call, you know.
Oh no, it's all good, man. I'm just trying to get everybody in. You know, it's been real busy tonight.
Yeah. So you talked about The Wire on the show, yeah?
Have I said it on the show? I think
The Wire.
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned it earlier. Yes.
What do you think about the television show, first of all, before I go on?
Oh, it was excellent. It was accurate. It really just depicted what's going on in these cities. You know, Baltimore is one place, but a lot of the pattern of behavior can be exhibited in all these Democratic run cities. It's pretty I don't want to say it's the same, but a lot of the same things apply, especially on the East Coast. Yeah,
because I know I was looking up the Wire filming locations because it's filmed in Baltimore, and then 15 years later they look the exact same. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could just film it there, and it like right now it'd be no different.
Yep.
And that goes with Elijah, man. It's so weird. He was on Twitter talking about he goes to Baltimore every day and he's trying to fight the good fight for his people. And I'm like, no, you're not. Don't play dumb. You're not. You're a millionaire, and about a fourth of the people in Baltimore are below the poverty line, and you're going to claim that you're fighting for your people. You're not. It's just sad seeing him virtue signal like this. And for the dude who was crying on CNN, I noticed they pulled up one of tweets about Ebola in Africa in 2014. I don't think they realized there was an Ebola outbreak in Liberia that same year he tweeted. So, I mean, the Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Right. It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And with the way they're doing the exact same thing with what they did to DeSantis when he was running against Gillum. He's taking words that you wouldn't associate with black people and trying to create this little maze and create this link to say how it's racist, and all it ends up making them doing is making themselves look like the bigots, the racists here.
Correct, because I've never heard the word infested used to be directed towards blacks ever in my life. When you hear infested, you think about rodents and stuff like that, insects. You don't think about human beings. You know, that's not a real correlation, but they're trying to make it be like that. That's why they're fake.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so stupid. I mean, anyone can know that they're clearly talking about things like the rodents and the stuff that you were talking about when they mean infested. And for them to just go all out trying to get these, look at these black mixed these brown politicians. He's using these terms for it's just insane, man. But it is just so crazy how you could look at something like The Wire, which was made in the early 2000s, and people became aware of this stuff, and then 20 years later, the exact stuff is still happening. Like the mayor of Baltimore had just stepped down this year. It's crazy.
Not only was the mayor removed from office, or they stepped down this year, the mayor before her did, and the mayor before her did as well. So in The Wire, you got the corrupt mayor, and he was doing all kind of crazy things, dealing with the dope boys on the low. And here in real life, you got corrupt mayors doing the exact same kind of things. Underhanded payments, behind door closed deals, all kind of stuff like that. It's the same thing that was in the actual TV series. It's like, I can't tell if it's art imitating life or the reverse.
Yeah. Oh, the Covington boys lawsuit got dropped.
Yeah, I heard about that for the Washington Post, but I think there's still other ones that are alive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're trying to appeal it because they still want to go through with it. But yeah, that happened. And then Kamala with ASAP Rocky. It's the interesting thing about this, and I might just be fast before I go. It's so funny that when a Republican tries to help a black person, they just claim, oh, you're just trying to get the black vote, but then Democrats help. It's like nothing. It's so weird, that dynamic. Because, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Trump is doing this just to kind of make sure his American people are more secure. But I mean, the way people are reacting to this, I don't know. It's just
it doesn't matter what he does, because the Democrats, they are they do things that are politically expedient whenever they want, that are contradictory. Here's an example. They'll say that Trump is trying to cater to the black people. He's trying to just pander to black folks with the whole A$AP Rocky thing. But they don't say it's the same thing when they're trying to talk about the illegal aliens and go over there and get them out of the border detention facilities. How
exactly.
You
and going to Mexico for the in the election.
Going to Mexico and campaigning over there. People like Cory Booker. You going to Juarez to get some deported women to escort them back to El Paso. That's not pandering. That's not just trying to cater to the Hispanic vote. Not at all. But then when Donald Trump wants to help to get an American out of foreign custody, oh, you're trying to pander to black people and you really don't care? It doesn't matter what he does. He could create the cure for cancer and people will complain that it's not all the way free.
Yeah, it's just, there's anything he does. That's why he's doing the things he's doing, because he knows that regardless, he's going to be branded as a certain thing. It's just pointless.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I'm going to get off, so I'll catch you later, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace.
All right. Thank you to Jordan for the call. Most certainly appreciate it. Let me get to the next call here.
White people, you really don't care.
I know. Calling on the line. Who am I speaking to? Yeah, so who am I speaking to? All right, unknown caller, you got to tighten up. Don't get cold feet now. All right, let me get to my next call here. All right, call you on the line, 617. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan, man. You gotta get it together, man. You gotta get it together. You keep with it. I don't even know which one to talk about. I don't know if you talk about the Rocky case, Kamala Harris, or the House of Representatives. I think the guy that Trump told in the festive place. Which one should we start? I think.
You tell me. Go for it. Whatever's on
Rocky, number one. I saw part of the video. I saw when they threw the guy on the ground. I think this guy's being held in jail there unfairly. That's a given. But like any other sovereign nation, their laws have to be respected. The judicial system, their process has to be respected. The same way like people from other nations respect the United States judicial system. I've never seen someone from the United States, somebody from a foreigner getting locked up here for an incident. It didn't even know his fault or her fault, and the president for another nation demanding to get him out. I've never seen that. And Trump is not making things easier, making things more tougher. You saw the 3 tweets that he told in the prime minister?
Well, hey, somebody got to look out for A$AP Rocky.
No, I'm not saying to look out. but those three tweets that he sent, they were the best way to approach the situation, on your opinion. Okay, you're an opinion guy.
Well,
so
look, because if they're requesting the situation in a nice way, and that's not going the correct way, put a little bit. I'm gonna finish talking.
Okay.
If the situation is not going the correct way when you approach it nicely, then you put a little bit of pressure on them and see what happens. It might as well because I'm gonna finish talking. You might as well because I mean it's not like you're really going to get anywhere by going about it the right way or the so-called right way. Put a little bit of pressure on them and then see what happens. And if they don't want to, follow through, then that could be an actual problem going in the future. But go ahead.
So you talking like a Rocky is in some sort of hostages. It's not a hostage.
It doesn't matter.
It's a process.
It doesn't
what
matter.
What do you mean doesn't matter? You gotta respect the legal system. The legal
Well,
system
look, at the end of the day,
at the end of
the day, if somebody's a hostage, that's their legal system as well. So it doesn't make a difference.
No. I say it's not being kept as a hostage.
It doesn't matter.
That.
So if a person, sir, if a person is a hostage, isn't that the legal system as well over there?
That's saying not that what I said.
No, okay. The question I asked you is, if a person is a hostage, isn't that their legal system over there?
That's a different story.
No. Answer the question though. Sir.
Yeah.
Answer the question. If a person is a hostage, isn't that the same thing? That's the legal system working over there, correct? Yes or no?
That's the legal system. I can't.
Sir, I mean, look, I don't got all day because the phone lines are blowing up. I got 1,000 folks watching. So if you're not going to answer no questions, I'm going to go ahead and hang up. So the question, again, yes or no, and if you can't answer, I'll hang up. The question is, if a person is a hostage, let's say like in North Korea, isn't that part of their legal system? Yes or no?
No, because that's
so it's not legal. So when a person in North Korea, like Otto Warmbier, was held, he wasn't convicted by the law. That wasn't a court decision in North Korea.
But that's their system.
Oh no. Was that a court decision?
Wasn't a court decision. There's no court system in North Korea.
So what? So how was he in jail then? What happened?
Well, they made the decision.
Who made a decision? Who made a decision?
There's no jail system in North Korea. But
sir,
I want to move on to the next step.
Sir, who made a decision? Who made a decision?
The number one, the tweets were wrong.
Sir, I don't got all day. Who made a decision?
And instead of using this type of tweets,
sir, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Who made a decision?
Their system.
All right then. So it was legal. So exactly. So you can't just say, oh well, we gotta respect the legal process and we can't interfere with that. Well, if you're a hostage over there, like in North Korea, you're sentenced to hard labor. You're sentenced to these things. That's part of their legal system. So we went over there and got them back. We got Otto Warmbier. We got some more. So why can't we do the same thing with ASAP Rocky? You could call a person a hostage or a prisoner or whatever. It's irrelevant. The point is that they are held in foreign custody, and it's your duty as an American, if you're the leader of the country, to look out for Americans wherever they may be in the world. That's why you have consulates all over the world in every country. The consulate's job is to help to guide you through their point of reference and their point of safety. That's why you're able to be in the American soil when you're in a consulate in a foreign place. So that's very simple. But go ahead to get to your next point.
Okay, like I said, Rocky's going to a trial right now, so we got to weigh the outcome of the trial, and then we made a decision. He's going to
move on to your next point.
The Prime Minister cannot remove him, cannot do anything because...
Move on to your next point. I don't got all night.
The three tweets were useless.
Move on to your next point. I don't got all night.
Hello?
Move on to your next point. I don't have all night.
Okay, next point. Okay, the three tweets were useless. That's not what a leader does. That's insane. That's not what a leader. Okay,
you said wait. Move on, but move on to your next point. Come on, we don't got all night.
The next point. People, when you say that Kamala Harris defending those who illegal, number one, 200,000 of them were approached coming through the border. That means coming through the port of entry. That means they're coming through the legal, not through the legal system, but they're coming to be checked. So they're not crossing the border illegally, number one. Number two, you cannot be held in a U.S. custody for immigration for more than 20 days. And some of them, they've been held for over 300 days now. So she's right. You cannot be held more than 20 days. You have to be released according to the law. So
hold on. So you're talking about people that are coming to the port of entry, or those that are just already in the interior of the country?
Yeah, those coming for the port of entry.
Well, how about those that are coming? How about those that are already in the country and do not go to the port of entry?
But that's different. She's not talking about those. She's talking about those who are in the system. They are in the her in custody. If you come to the port of entry and they say, I want asylum. So
okay, anybody talking about that though? So anybody saying that's wrong?
That's what she said. That's what she said. Those who come to the port of entry. That's what those children.
Okay,
are
but nobody's arguing that point. So what's the point in talking about that?
Okay. Next move to the most point that she's right, and then you were saying that she was wrong.
No, I didn't say nothing about that. I ain't saying nothing about that. Like nobody's like okay. I'll make my point, and then I go to the next call because we got like a limited time tonight. I got 1,000 viewers, so you can't be taking up all the time. Ain't nobody talking about the port of entry. Like everybody knows, if you want to seek asylum, go to the port of entry. It's simple. Like don't go cross the border illegally, hopping the fence and trying to sneak past the guards and all this and that. Nah, go to the port of entry. Don't come 1,000 deep at some random point. No, go to the port of entry and seek asylum. And the problem is a lot of the people they have false asylum claims. But that's all I got for you tonight, Ivan. Thank you for the call. All right, let me get to my next call here. Okay. Unknown caller on the line. Who am I speaking to? Yeah.
Yo, this is Pete.
All right, turn speakers in the background for me, Pete. All righty, what's going on?
Yo, question. Say the Democrats win in 2020. What do you think is going to happen with guns and gun control?
By a long shot chance they win, they're going to try to attack guns right away. It's going to be a court battle. It's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. See, the thing about it, we have 5 conservative Supreme Court justices, so I don't think they're going to get too far with any kind of gun regulation on a national level. They're going to try to do things on local levels, but national level, it's going to be kind of hard for them because they're going to have to go to the Supreme Court. And we have a safeguard right there by Trump appointing 2 conservative Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully that's what happens and doesn't get too messed up.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are of that? You think they're going to try to steal it like they did last time?
Oh, they're going to try to steal it. Absolutely. They're already trying to steal it right now. That's why they're trying to have all these illegals come into the country because they want them to vote. And we all know that you can't vote if you're not a citizen, but it's what they wanted to do. They want to say, oh, they're American just like you. They should be able to vote. They've already done that in California on a so-called small election. I don't care if it's voting for the president or voting for, the best dog in show. If it's a election that's a government, federal, local, whatever, you should not be an illegal or a non-citizen with the right to vote. But that's what they want to do is get the illegals voting fraudulently so they're able to steal the election.
Dang. Well, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. All righty. 480 on the line. I'm speaking to.
ABL, hey, my name's Roy Bear. Hey, I just have a question for you. You know the difference between the right and the left?
You tell me.
The left runs away from facts, and the left are like a bunch of bulldogs. We tell the facts.
Oh, 100% all day long.
It's just like I was just checking out the tweets that Trump tweeted. Terrence Williams, one is he retweeted one of his Terrence Williams tweets, and you can see the video with a bunch of garbage dump. And what's next? Evidence going to be a racist too? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right. I mean, you got people, and shout out to Kimberly Classic. She's the one that recorded all that video. She's a reporter out there in the Baltimore area, and she interviewed a lady that lives right there, a black woman that lives right there, been there for a long time, grew up in Baltimore, Baltimore native, and she said that she agreed with Trump, and Trump's not racist for what he said, and she's glad that he called out Elijah Cummings for not doing anything, for being kind of a slumlord representative in Congress. Absolutely. So what are they really going to do with that? Are they going to have that guy out there crying that is allegedly from there but does not live there anymore, or people that are actually on the ground that live right there that are telling what's going on?
Oh, exactly. Here's a difference. Also, a difference. We're also not surrounded by security, unlike the other side. I just, facts. All I gotta say is facts hurts.
Yeah, exactly. True first. But thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thank you, ABL.
All right, now I appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to the next call here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 412, you in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, this is Tariq.
All righty, what's going on?
Yes, I wanted to get back to that other situation about ASAP Rocky, about him being about him being arrested at in Sweden.
Yeah.
How everything started. Yeah, there was other Islamic women that was there in Sweden that ASAP Rocky kind of with those two other Muslims that was there. They were there was two females that was there too, and the two Muslim guys that came up confronted ASAP Rocky and a bodyguard and everything. The one girl claimed that one of those two guys grabbed her ass, and then grabbed her.
Yeah, no cussing. Yeah, I got you though.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to say that. I apologize. Sorry
it's
for
all
cussing,
good.
but yeah, and the other dude grabbed the girl's hair, and he ran up and sniffed her hair and grabbed her hair and sniffed it. And then that's when the bodyguard came and pushed him and told him to get away. And the guy said no, and he threw his headphones at the guy. And the other dude, when it was both because it was all pushing the seven, and because the bodyguard was pushing the seven away, the two Muslim guys, I was trying to follow ASAP Rocky and his friends. It was dumbfounded because those two Muslim guys were dumbfounded because they never got told no before in Sweden.
Right. Yeah. Probably so.
Yeah. Like, do you agree with what I'm saying so far?
Well, I mean, the situation, it was clear that the guys that were, those Arab guys were in the wrong in the whole situation. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then they was walking away the whole time, and they kept following them over and over and over again. The two Muslim guys.
That's correct.
Like, this is they had like the whole block was theirs, and they just kept following, harassing them the whole time when they was trying to get away. ASAP Rocky and his friends.
Exactly.
And they didn't know that it was in a no-go zone, and an Islamic no-go zone. I believe that there was sure a lot. I believe that there was sure a lot of terrorists. To be honest with you, that's what I believe in. I believe that those two Muslim guys, they was far sure a lot of terrorists.
I mean, it could have been. It could have been that, but I think it was more about them just being on drugs or something, because the things they were doing didn't make any sense. When you want to, enact some kind of attack on somebody, guys, they kind of like, especially if you're going to be a terrorist, you're going to do things that are kind of planned out a little bit. But these guys looked like they were just kind of flying off the seat of their pants, not making any kind of real rational decisions or choices. They were just doing stuff because they just could, I guess. It seemed like it was some kind of drug-induced situation.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to can we rewind it back? Everything you just said was really true. Though. I agree with you 100%. You didn't say not one lie about what you just said. What you just told me just now.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And the reason why they got arrested was because if the Muslim guys would have got arrested, they would have burned the whole place to the ground, like the Sharia law.
Yeah. And see, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. That's a good point you made there.
Yeah. Now can I also go back to Baltimore?
Well, I got limited time, so you got to kind of make it quick.
Okay. Yeah. What I wanted to say about Baltimore was that there's a lot of black on black crime going over there, and like black people keep killing other black people over and over and over again. But we could fix it though, because I believe we could fix it, because 21,000 Black Lives Matter walks through the streets in Baltimore, and and now I see 56 Amish people burning the whole barn. Amish. Those Amish people. Do you believe what I'm saying is true?
Well, I'm having a hard time following.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm trying to dumb it down for you the best I can. I know this.
Nah, it's all good, man. I don't mean to cut you right here, but the phone lines are blowing up. So I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm sorry, man. I think my phone's breaking up or something. I'm not sure, but thank you. Thank you for accepting my call, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's all good, man. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I'm trying to get everybody on as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight. All righty. All righty, Nippin, what's happening?
I double dare Trump to convert to Islam and then see how the Democrats react.
Hey, I want to see him do the whole thing. I want to see him I want to see him get his beard real big and have it blonde and everything. I want to see that whole situation go for sure.
Yeah. You know, even if it's just as a publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I bet they'll start hating him. I bet they'll start hating Islam.
That's right.
Because whatever Trump is, they hate.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. He could say, I want to have free cookies for everybody on Sunday. Cookies are too bad for you. You want to push diabetes. It's, everything that he says or does is bad.
Yeah. Now, if the Democrats are so concerned about the working class, why are all their votes coming from the richest states in the U.S.? And why are all the poorer states going to the Republican Party?
Well, because the rich states have a really big, I guess you would call it, income inequality. Like, a prime example would be Baltimore and Maryland. Maryland is the number one richest state in the union, the richest state. But yet,
really?
Yes, it is.
More than California, more than New York?
Well, I'm not sure about their, as far as total money, like, in GDP. But as far as the size of it, it's the richest state. Now, they also have the most dangerous neighborhood in the entire nation in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep, the school shootings day in, day out, apparently.
It's so much stuff happening. I mean, it's just the drugs, the gangs, the city is run very poorly, very poorly.
And they say it's all Trump's fault.
I mean, how can that be Trump's fault when it's been that way since, decades? Long before Trump came into politics, it's been like that.
Then, I mean, Maryland should be able to sort this out because their governor is a Republican.
Well, yeah, I mean, the governor's Republican, but, I mean, there's so many. You got the mayor, the city council, the state.
Doesn't the governor, overrule them all, though?
Well,
just like the president does in terms of the national.
I mean, only to a certain extent. Because the president can only do so much, the same way that the governor can only do so much. There are certain things that are going to happen on the city level that the governor cannot micromanage.
The only way to stay relevant and to be elected in such a highly democratic, liberal area is just to become a registered Democrat, but campaign under conservative values.
Hey, that's like David Clark up there in Minnesota. That might have to be the wave.
Wisconsin,
pardon me, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Now, Kamala Harris versus ASAP Rocky. Now, apparently she thinks Trump is abusing his power by letting him out.
Yeah, or let's just trying to, get something going. Just trying to talk to the Prime Minister of Sweden to help get ASAP Rocky out. So advocating for the release of an American citizen who was being held captive overseas is somehow abusing your power. I think that's most certainly in your scope of power to protect American citizens. That's what you're supposed to be doing as a president.
Absolutely. Everyone is scared that the world is moving to the right. The world is going conservative. Look, the UK now have their own version of Trump in Boris Johnson.
Yeah, I saw that. So it's official now that Boris Johnson is the prime minister.
Yep, and now he's going to he's going to increase the police force by 200,000.
Very good, very good.
So-
now is that all over UK or just in London?
I think all over the UK.
Okay.
He was the mayor of London before that.
Oh, okay. So he understands what's really going on in London, but also UK. Okay.
Hmm. In fact, he is actually, he doesn't live, well, his constituency is not that far from where I live.
Right.
You have counties well, we have counties too, but you have states, but we call them constituencies in England.
Yeah, we have states and counties. We have states, counties, cities, towns, townships,
Yeah.
villages, stuff like that.
Yeah, we have villages too. Yeah.
All right, Nephew, we
So-
got time for like one more topic because I got a lot of calls on the line, so we got to kind of be short. So one more topic, then I got to get to the next call.
So Ilhan Omar and officers are attacked with water. Let's put that into one topic.
Okay, go ahead.
So she's dangerous. She is dangerous. Advocating terrorism, sympathizing with Al Qaeda, being apologetic for 9/11. I'm sorry, no. These are not things I want to see in a person representing me.
I'm with you.
And now, what was the things about officers getting attacked by water?
Well, real quick before we get to the next call, officers have been getting drenched with water. I saw some cases in New York where it happened, like New York City, and also I think it was in Atlanta, Georgia, where officers getting called to places probably for a loud party, and they're getting doused with all types of water through water guns and buckets and stuff like that. And it's become kind of a trend. And the problem is, one day, somebody might mess around and get shot behind that because the officer could be in danger. They could put some bleach or something in the water, and it could be a really bad situation. And it all started in New York, where the officers can't really do anything because people like Bill de Blasio have made that be so. He's not supporting the police, so the officers can't really do anything because they fear for their job due to Bill de Blasio not protecting them.
Now, I have one thing to say about all these countries in Europe. The Netherlands needs to vote populist. Italy already have a populist government. Germany need to do the same thing. Same with Belgium and France.
Well, there it is, man. I'm right
Yeah.
there with you. But I thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
It was nice catching up with you.
Oh, likewise, Nippin. Absolutely.
I shall speak to you on... No, wait. Today is Sunday. On Thursday.
Thursday your time, Wednesday my time. That's right.
Yeah.
All righty.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to my Nippin for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. I got super chats to read real quick before we get to the next call. Thank y'all for donating. Thank y'all for being here. We still got about 817 live in the chat. Wow. Very good. I've been here for about 2.5 hours so far. If you're just now coming into the stream, I got about a half hour left. Y'all go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Since you're in here, like the video, share the video as well. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so. Hit that subscribe button right now. I do this live show every Wednesday and Saturday night from 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And I do just pre-record stuff all throughout the week, 10 minutes twice a day, usually, about news topics. So thank y'all for joining. Shout out to, hold on right quick before we get the super chats. Thank you to Matthew who says, or Matt, pardon me, the guy. He says the guy following ASAP looked touched, looked like he was geeked up on some drugs. Thank you for that. Shout out to Slamming Brandon who says ABL Globetrotters versus Ivan Generals. Doesn't he know Globetrotters always win? Thank you for the comment, man. Definitely appreciate you. And I think that he would know by now that the Globetrotters always win, but maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Thank you to Matt who also says for dealing with the S-heads, free ASAP. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you and your donation. Shout out to Rick Thomas, who says, why does every Democrat run city look like an episode of The Wire? Well, in Baltimore, it was The Wire, but then, Democrats, they got a lot of the same patterns of governance that's going to create a situation that looks like Baltimore and The Wire. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to G. Carjala, who says, great callers, good show. Had to pony up. Hey, I thank you for your support, as always. Certainly appreciate it. Thank you to Margaret M., who says, did you see how Representative Cummings and Pelosi are now in Italy in a 5-star hotel? Are they really in the hotel? You know what? It'd be hilarious if they did some kind of like live stream or press conference from the hotel. Matter of fact, go out there in the balcony and show me the volcano in the background and talk about how are you trying to fight for the people in West Baltimore. I can't tell. You live in your best life. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Will Redding, who says, Al, how about all the Democrat run cities? Okay, how would all the Democrat run down cities do without federal funding, considering they have chased away the tax base? And you know what the funny part is? A lot of these rundown Democrat cities got plenty of money coming in. They're just misusing it because of all the corruption. That's how that works. That's why you keep having these Democratic mayors in Baltimore resign and get forced out and all, federal raids. That's what's happening. They're misusing money that they're getting from the federal government. They're getting plenty of cash and putting it into their pocket, getting fur coats and, getting Toys R Us gift cards and spending them on Xbox games for your son. But that's a different story, and I digress. Thank you for your call. Your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Amos Deus Azel. I'm butchering the name and I'm apologizing. Asmodeus Azazel Hades, who says, ABL, love and support your work. A friend from Swedistan said ASAP and his bodyguard came across a Turkish immigrant forcing himself on a young woman. They intervened and they themselves were charged. I do not know how true that is. Peace. It possibly could have happened, because one of the girls that was right there in the video said that the guy that was, approaching them all the time said that he had slapped her on the hind parts and the friend too. So that could have happened. But thank you for your donation. Thank you to Michael Huffin for your donation. Shout out to Dwayne Aether. I know butchered that for your donation. And Dixie George and Shriv. I appreciate you all for your donations. Let's get back to the calls. We got about a half hour left. Let's go to. Alrighty. Okay, somebody's trying to call back. I can only do one call per night. So if you're trying to call back, one call per night, so I can't answer your call. Let's go to 631. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, is this Anthony?
Yes, it is.
ABL?
Yes.
Oh my God! See, my connection is a bit off with my internet, so sometimes, it's not in chime. I sent you an email actually about how I started going back to school. I transferred universities from a primarily dominant conservative university, Villanova University, and now I'm going to Fordham University. I switched majors from computer engineering to communications, and it just seems like everything is predominantly progressive, left bent, and everything is anti-conservative values, almost to the point of, you really can't speak up. You can't really say your own opinion on it. Anthony, I really don't know how to deal with this type of thing, being at a new school and everything, like these new ideas that I don't know. It's kind of like they don't give you the opportunity to speak. They basically censor these ideas. But when you do get the opportunity to speak and you get it out there, the students do resonate with it and they understand it. And I think they do have these conservative values, but the professors will not let it be out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kind of like very disappointed with how they're approaching this. It's a big change, especially from 2007 when I first started going to now where I am now. We're 2019. It's
Yeah, it's a
I
big
don't know.
change. Definitely, definitely a whole different situation. So, do you think you'd be able to just keep your eyes on the prize as far as your destination, as far as your goal? Like, are you living on campus? Like, what's going on?
No, I'm a commuter student. So I'm out in eastern Long Island, so I commute to Midtown Manhattan. And, we have some vets in the class, so they have like an understanding of this, and they kind of have a conservative leaning. And I think the younger students aren't, too aware of this stuff, but since my major is primarily going to be with very progressive people, communications, I don't know, that just makes me concerned about the next courses that I'm going to take. Like, I wanted to do a paper on how memes affected the last election, and my professor was fine with the book, but she had to run it by the chair of the department, and she said I couldn't run it because it was alt-right.
Well, okay. I'm gonna just pause right here. So you're going for communications, correct?
Yeah.
Now, is there a reason why you're going for that particular major? Like, do you have a job lined up? Like, what is the reason for that major?
I'm really not too sure at this point. I dove into the technologies when I was studying computer engineering, and it just really fascinated me, especially, seeing the growth of YouTube and how massive it's gotten, and all these people reaching other audiences and whatnot, and these various opinions getting out there. That really kind of got me into it. I'm not too sure what I would be doing with it. I mean, I'm really just starting. It's a different major for me, so I'm really not too sure.
Okay, now you said that you had the technology thing. I mean, like, are you doing that now? Is that your career now? Like, do you do that and then go to college? Like, what's going on?
No, what happened was I stopped college. I went on a disability. I ended up getting a head injury from an assault, so I had to take a break. And then I went back to school, and I'm living off of a subsidy right now. And I don't want to live off of that. I want to be independent, and I don't think it's right for people to be paying for me to just sit here and rot. So that's why I wanted to go back to school.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I hear you 100%. I mean, if it were me, I'm not. I can't necessarily be in your shoes right now because I'm not you. But if it were me, I would not be going and spending money on a degree for communications. Like what I'm doing right now in communications, I have no degree in this. I just did it. And like what I have, all I have right now to my name is an associate's degree in graphic design. That's all I got. And the only reason why I did that is because I just needed to train myself in the programs necessary to be able to start my own business. And I had done that for a long time. And I still kind of do graphic design here and there. But for a long time, that was all I did. Was my own business for a good 10 years. That was how I made a living exclusively. So, I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is you might want to just, rethink your path career-wise. Communications, a degree in that might not necessarily be the right way. And if you still want to pursue that, look into what you were able to do after it's over. Because right now it's like you kind of just searching. I would say if you're looking for a way to actually make some money, get a trade, start your own business, do something like that versus spending the money in the communications, especially if you're not really sure what you want to do afterwards. For a guaranteed way to make some money, skill trade, working with your hands, that'd be the best way rather than communications. But that's just my opinion, especially since you're going to be dealing with liberal people. You're going to be having to communicate in a liberal way with these people, and you don't want to have that be the foundation upon which you want to go out there in the business world with. And also think about it like this. Once you're going out there and you're trying to get jobs at these places, you're going to be surrounded by other people that have gone to these same types of schools, learning the same types of things. So, I mean, is that what you want for your future? I'm not really sure.
I don't think I'd want to work for any of these really liberal outlets, but I mean, I could get some connections on the outside for some conservative ones through my high school. I mean, these guys are from my high school. They're pretty up there. I mean, the most prominent conservative guy that we have for my high school is Bill O'Reilly. And yeah, I mean, I've met him before. It's so, you know, the opportunity is out there. It's just my concern is really how to deal with this, how to deal with these professors if they don't want to hear me speak. I mean, currently I'm just taking one course over the summer because, you know, it's very condensed, but and she's letting me speak. She's letting me be. I'm pretty vocal in the class. Even though that I find it very surprising that she's covering Trump almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get that in these kind of places because that's pretty much where their mind is at. That's where their mind is at. You're going to get that.
It's weird. It's very weird.
So, I mean, hey, thank you for the call. I got to get to a few more, but yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
hopefully.
appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem, man. You know, I wish you nothing but the best, man. So rethink that major, man. I'm not really sure that's going to be the best thing for you. I think you'd be happy if you did something else, but just do a little bit of research. Take your time with it, man. So hopefully everything works out for you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Take care.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, hopefully he does not do that major. Communications. I mean, especially if you go into a 4-year university or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't pay the money. I don't have any student loan debt, and the debt I did have was when I went to a 4-year college for 1 year. I went to ODU for 1 year, and then that was enough to decide I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, I was young. I was like 22 when I did that. I was like, okay, I'm done. I have enough to be able to go out here and just work now and just get some money. But let me get to the next call. All right. SOBC, what's happening?
Hey, good day, ABL. How are you? Can you hear me?
I hear you well. What's going on?
Oh, great, perfect. Oh, wow, it's 1,000 people watching today. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are those did you do something new, or are these some viewers from somewhere, or?
Well, a couple of things I think happened. The first thing was that you had this whole Baltimore thing that's really popular right now. But the second thing, I think my man American Joe had a stream and he may have sent people over here after he was done. So that could have aided in it. I'm not really sure.
Oh, sweet. But speaking of Baltimore, you would offer me, I don't care, someone could offer me $1 billion to go live in Baltimore, and I would turn it down.
It's not worth your life.
Exactly, right? If I took it, I wouldn't last a day in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to take it. So, and I think that people are only angry because it's one, because they hate Trump, and two is because Trump is a white man who, spoke the truth. That they just don't want to hear the truth coming from someone who's white and who's Trump, I mean, you can hear a lot of black people, they say the same thing, but no one's going to be mad at them. No one's going to call them a racist. Case in point, what's his name? Bakari Sellers was actually on that segment with that dude who cried, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He was talking to Bakari Sellers, and as you can remember, Bakari Sellers is the same person who, remember that he made that statement about Negroes, Kanye West being an example of when Negroes don't read?
Correct.
And people laughed about it. Don Lemon was on that segment laughing about it. But just imagine someone white or someone like Trump said it. It would be the end of the world.
Trump said a true statement about Baltimore, especially Elijah Cummings' district. He said it because it's a fact. It's not anything other than that. You can observe it.
Right.
Talk to residents there. They'll tell you that's a fact. The whole thing about Kanye was just trying to poke fun.
Exactly.
You're trying to embarrass him, and everybody laughed. Okay, and that's you see the double standard there. It's very clear.
Right. That's very true. And yeah, I mean, they're only mad because Trump is a white man, and he's a white man who speaks up. And I was listening to the previous caller who switched his major from engineering to communications, and you're right. He should definitely, if I'm him, I'll definitely go back to engineering, and because there's just no luck in that communications field. and he was talking about not speaking up and not having courage. I think he needs to look up to someone like Trump. He needs to emulate Trump, and I see this in a lot of white men. White men need to look at Trump and emulate him and speak up like he does.
That's right.
It's now in the times we live in. There's just no room. There's no room for being a coward.
That's right.
No room at all for being a coward. For example, I live close to Baltimore City. I'm not gonna share where exactly I live, but it's a good place. It's a good place, and I was wearing my Trump shirt. It's majority liberal, and one in three people are, and actually it's probably less than that, but it's about 75% liberal. So I was walking around in my Trump shirt, and this old white lady approaches me, and she whispers in my ear, and she's like, "I love your courage. I love you. This is great. I would never do that." And I looked at her and I was like, why wouldn't you do that? Why? You need to stop living in fear. People need to just stand up and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, exactly. If people were to stand up and believe in what they believe in publicly and loudly, then you wouldn't have so many problems with, being able to do it. It would be a normal thing. It wouldn't be this whole taboo around it.
Exactly. But anyway, great show, ABL. Keep up the great work, and we'll always be here supporting.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care.
All right, now. All right, thank you to my man SOBC for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Now, I got quite a few calls on the line. I'm going to try to get to a couple more before we close on out. I will be done at 11 p.m. Eastern time, sharp. I'll try to keep everything 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button right now. That'll just warm my heart right on up. There's a bell beside the subscribe button. Click that bell for me so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new pre-recorded video. Also, share the video. Share it on the friends page, co-worker, email it, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snap, whatever you got. I'd appreciate it if you shared the video as well. Alrighty, but let me get to the next call. I know, caller, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is Sean from California.
Alrighty, what's happening?
All right, I want to talk about Baltimore.
All right, go for it. But
I want to talk about Black Lives Matter and all that too.
Turn speakers down in the background for me. Caller, can you hear me?
What?
Turn speakers down in the background for me, please.
All right, hold on.
All right. Okay, can you hear me?
All right, yeah. Well, if I can see 1 million people or 21,000 people march to the streets and saying Black Lives Matter, we can all walk through Baltimore real quick and point out to everybody real quick, these are the bad guys, these are the bad guys. They can't take us all out. We can walk through there and even take down the buildings. We can take down the buildings. I can't hear you.
Nah, okay. Don't watch the stream on the YouTube channel. Just talk to me on the phone.
Oh, okay. Hold on real quick. But we can walk through the streets. We can even tear down buildings. You can tear down those buildings that don't have good infrastructure. We can tear those down to make community gardens out of them. We can make community gardens out of them, and the ones that do have infrastructure, we can actually build them up. And for community centers or for this and that, and even people that own them, if we build them up and make them profitable, then you own them, legally.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you can. As long as you make them profitable and have community gardens and all that, you can rebuild the whole city as long as everybody comes together and comes to in a community all together. If you're going to walk in the streets, I've seen Amish people, 56 people, build a hangar that you can fly a jet through in one day. If we all come together and you come together and say, you know what, we want crime out, what can they do? 21 large, 1,000 large. Walk through the street, say, we don't want this anymore. We can do this. This is all possible if you come together. You understand that?
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you there. It makes sense.
And then I want to get to ASAP real quick.
Well, very
because
quickly,
nobody-
because I got limited time, so very quickly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I want to get real quick. The reason why that all started is those two guys. One dude went up and slapped one of the girl's booties, and the other guy went and started snipping her hair. And then the bouncer was like, "Oh, nah, you can't do that," and that's how it all started.
Okay, I see.
And then he went and tried to act all up and be like, because they're not normal. It's not normal for them. Well, it's not normal for them to be like punked. Not for there.
Gotcha.
Now I need more black people to actually go over there. You want world? You got over here. You got courage over here. What I mean by courage, meaning you got over here fluff. Go over there and get world courage. Go over there and be like, yeah.
No doubt, man. But thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, love you.
All right, now.
Late.
All right, shout out to the call. I most certainly appreciate him. All right, I got time for maybe one more call. And thank y'all for being here and calling, enjoying the show. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the show, because I have been so far. Let me see. Let's get to 204. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Stephen from Winnipeg, Canada.
All righty. What's going on?
I'm actually just calling on a sort of unrelated topic. I was wondering if you're familiar with a YouTuber named Tree of Logic.
I don't want to talk about her.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Fair enough. Well, what are the topics tonight? I just got on now.
The whole Baltimore situation.
I'm not familiar. Like, what happened there?
Oh, well, it's been this whole big thing on Twitter because Trump was talking about how bad it is in Elijah Cummings' district. You got, rodents and rats is really a bad thing. And people were trying to say that he is racist for saying that the situation in Baltimore is like that.
Well, I mean, they're going to call him racist no matter what, right? Pretty much.
Right, exactly.
I mean, he's calling him racist since he got in, so. And he
Right.
pretty much disproved them.
Yeah, I mean, Trump could turn water into wine and say it's racist because you think that black folks like to drink liquor and you can't turn water into wine because it's unhealthy. It's always something. That's just how it is.
Also, too, I just heard today about Trump getting approval for building the wall as well.
Yeah, he got money from the Pentagon that that a lower court had blocked. It went to the Supreme Court and they allowed it. So you got about $2.5 billion to add on to the 1.4 you got approved from by Congress already. So he has quite a bit. You got almost about $3 billion in there. Almost 4 actually.
Wow. So he's actually keeping yet another campaign promise. That's awesome.
That's right.
The guy just keeps winning. You can't stop him.
Exactly.
Well, he's definitely you guys have a much better leader than I do here in Canada, Justin Trudeau.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I know how bad it is with that guy.
Yeah, we've got a male feminist as a prime minister. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to kind of call in quickly and just nice to talk to you, and I love your show, and you got a fan here in Canada, man.
Oh, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, thanks, man.
All right now.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And do I have all the super chats? Oh, shout out to Captain America Shazam, who says, Patriots assemble. Thank you, ABL. Well, thank you for your donation and your kind words, I guess. All right. Last call. 404, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. You've been trying to block me from calling your show, Anthony. I've made it through. I'm the last person, but it's all good, Anthony.
Look, I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to answer the phone. That's all.
Well, I wanted to ask you why you was talking about my sis, Anthony.
Your sis? Who is your sis?
You know who you made that video about, Erica Thomas, Anthony.
Hey, you're talking about the person that lied about the guy at the Publix?
She did not lie, Anthony. She is from Georgia. Black people from Georgia, we do not lie. Tell me, have you ever known a black woman from Georgia to lie, Anthony?
Yeah, quite a few people done lied. Everybody lies. Erica Thomas lied. Stacey Abrams lied, talking about I would have won if it wasn't for the election interference. Ain't nobody interfered with no election. Ain't nobody trying to do no voter fraud or nothing. She just lost the election.
She did not lie. She told the truth, and I saw the video, and you probably saw it too.
I saw the video. Yes, I did, and it looked like she was really aggressive. And I don't think that she would go home and cry, seeing how aggressive she was. She looking like the Incredible Hulk in the public.
No, she was not, Anthony. She was protecting her babies, Anthony. That's what a black woman will do, Anthony.
Hey, whatever it was, it didn't warrant no crying on Facebook afterwards, which was a fake thing.
It was not fake, Anthony. I was at her house with her when she was making the video, Anthony.
Oh, for real? So did you give her the Planned Parenthood T-shirt when she got a whole baby that's 9 months pregnant and a 9-year-old in the background?
Whatever. But anywho, and why your man Trump gonna say some racist about Elijah Cummings thing like he said?
Oh wait.
Excuse me.
Wait. You can't say that. This is a family show. Come on.
I just said his name, Anthony.
But look, it wasn't racist. He was telling the truth. He said that Baltimore, West Baltimore especially, is bad shape. Rats, rodents, everything's going on there. It's pretty simple.
Anthony, that was just wrong, Anthony. If he'll say that about him, then he'll say the same thing about John Lewis over here in Atlanta, Anthony.
Hey, isn't John Lewis
the best crack houses you can find, Anthony? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you got bandos in Atlanta too, and dope houses. Isn't John Lewis like in Southwest Atlanta? Isn't that his district?
Yes, Anthony. What's wrong with that?
Hey, that's a notorious ghetto over there.
That's right, Anthony. We call it the SWAT. Get it right, boo.
Yeah, it's not good over there at all.
And if he come around here with that stuff again, he gonna get swatted anyway. But anywho, Anthony, y'all just got me all worked up because you wouldn't even answer the phone or anything. Then you gonna keep me on blocked and everything today. Ooh, Anthony, I just don't know what to do. Just got me all mad, Anthony.
Well, look, I can't do nothing about that. But I'm about to go ahead and wrap up the show, so you got to go ahead and go back to Atlanta and do what you got to do.
You try. See, you in that language, Anthony. But anywho, if you see your friend Kevin and you know my favorite, that amazing Lucas, you tell him I said, hey, Anthony. Okay, Anthony?
Sure. Okay.
Okay, Anthony, Brian, Logan.
No. Ain't no nicknames. ABL. Don't be adding no nicknames on it, sir.
Excuse me, Anthony. That's ma'am, boo.
Whatever you want to call yourself, boss. I appreciate the call. And he hung up. Shout out to the last caller. That guy's always a trip. Okay. A repeat show caller for anybody that's new. Yeah. So thank y'all for joining. That's a wrap for the show. Again, every Wednesday and Saturday night from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. I appreciate y'all for being here. It was a deep voice. I'm reading the chat. Y'all are tripping. It was a deep show tonight. A lot of people were here. We had over 1,100, which is a great amount. Great for me on the regular show, especially. Probably the biggest amount on the regular show I had. If you guys are new to the show, please like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Share the video as well. And look out for more content from this channel. Thank you to the moderators tonight because we had a few trolls in here. Y'all got them out of the way. Shout out to T-Pain, the boss, Shreebs, Michelle A, Bill from the Hills, Omar Adams, Eliza Jean, Ansel. All you guys done a great job. Protocol, if you in here. Everybody, thank y'all for what you do. And shout out to everybody that's watching. And if you want to keep the party going, if you want to keep the conversation going in the chat, and also through voice, the way I'm talking right now, you could talk to each other through Discord. There is a Discord link in the description box. And I'll put it right here in the chat so you guys can go ahead and get it with quick access. Again, the Discord link is in the chat box. It's a free service. You can use it whenever you want. This community system is just for you. So is that all I got? That's all I got. Shout out to the Mod Squad, the Super Chatters, the PayPal donators, all you guys. I appreciate it. And that about wraps it up. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.